I hope everyone is enjoying the copyright-free silence we have for you at the beginning of today's broadcast. Welcome everybody to Uncivilized episode 8. I am your host, Shy-Ill. Congratulations on being alive. It's been a long couple of days, but we here. Smoke them if you got them. Much love and thank you to all the new subscribers. Much love and thank you to all the new viewers. If you have yet to subscribe, please do. If you have yet to hit any like buttons, please do. We got plenty of videos for you to go through, plenty of reactions. We done reacted to all kind of debauchery. I got on my SAG After Strong shirt in support of my fellow actors. For those of you that don't know, I'm a SAG actor. And today, SAG went and spoke to the AMTPT or whatever the hell they're called, the producers, the studios. And negotiations are back at the table, so I got my shirt on. And that's it, man. We kicking it. Smoke them if you got them. Drink them if you got them. And let's get to it. First and foremost, today we're going to start. Oh, also, we got a little housekeeping. $2 text-to-speech, $5 text-to-speech plus media link. So you can put a link in there, and I can react to it live. What up to Glitter Fart? Hello, what's popping? $2 to get you a comment on the screen. So for instance, if you go to the link in the description and you put in a donation and you put your name in and you put your little message in, it should pop up like this.
Big Baller sent $1,000. I am the man.
There you have it. So for $2, you can put your comment up there, put your name up there. I'm fine, Glitter Fire. I'm all okay. We all good over here. You got an amazing name, bro. So yeah, so then, and you can also add a link. For $5, you can add a link, and I'll stop what I'm doing and react to that link. Otherwise, please, if you haven't subscribed, please do. And hit the like button. We're going to start with a cop realizes the suspect is deceased, unalived, out of there, gone. Let's see what happened here. Let's see whose fault this is or who's catching the blame, where the lack of accountability comes in. Let's check it out. Oh, sorry, did that again.
Big Baller sent $1,000. I am the man.
Why do you not have any clothes on?
Oh, that don't look good.
This is the never-before-seen case of Harold Easter, a shocking example of police negligence and the only time a suspect has ever died inside of the interrogation room.
Appreciate
a man
it,
who
Glitter.
went from stone cold...
Appreciate it, Glitter. Have a good night. Enjoy your soup.
This is the never-before-seen case of Harold Easter, a shocking example of police negligence and the only time a suspect has ever died.
The only
inside
time?
of the
I'm sure it's most definitely not the only time. I'm sure there's been a body or two left in many a interrogation room, many a cinder block interrogation room across this great country. I'm sure he ain't the first one. And definitely not the last.
interrogation room. A man
There's another story I'm looking for that I've seen before. When I find it, we're going to talk about that
who
one.
went from stone cold sober to dying of an overdose, all while in police custody.
Must have swallowed it.
On January 3rd, 2020, police pulled over Harold Easter after they allegedly witnessed him selling drugs. After Harold stopped his vehicle, the officers immediately rushed the vehicle, weapons drawn, just to see him hiding the evidence in a truly shocking way.
Well, he had to work to
Put your
swallow
hands
that.
up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Do it now!
My man just got out. We had some weed. That's all.
Hands up! Hands up!
Open the door for you.
Put your hands up right now! Keep them up! Keep your hands up right now! Don't eat it! He's eating it. Hands up!
Harold admits to having a little bit of marijuana on him, but obviously doesn't want him to know about the crack cocaine he was also carrying, as instead of giving it up, he puts a rock of it in his mouth and swallows it directly in front of the officer. Obviously, this is extremely unsafe. Ingesting any amount of...
So you telling me that it wasn't like they pulled him over, he secretly swallowed the bag, and they didn't know what was happening? They knew exactly what was happening to Buddy. He ate it right in front of their face. And now he gonna eat it right in front of their face, and they're gonna watch him. They're gonna watch him fall. Wow. They knew. That's crazy.
This drug can be dangerous, but in the amounts that Harold just took, it's life-threatening. Officers should have immediately called for medical attention and taken him to a hospital, but instead, they focused on arresting him and bringing him into custody, leaving him to suffer for hours on end.
He got it down. Well, it looks like he's still working to get it down.
Got anything on you? Just come print me stick.
Nah, it's down because he's talking.
$453,000 in affiliate commissions in 60 days. Without Amazon,
Leaving all that cash in your pocket.
The officer pats Harold down and finds nothing but a stack of cash on him. However, a search of his vehicle recovers much more.
He was cushioning up the part of his crack. He didn't get all of it though, but that's what he was doing while I was fighting for his hands. But we probably got an 8-ball down here. This is gonna be part of the crack he was crushing when I was dealing.
As far as he swallowed it, salutes also. As far as he swallowed it, and then they patted him down to see what was in his pockets, cool. Right there, they should have already had called for the ambulance. They should have known what was coming. You know, instead they got him sitting on the floor or sitting in the car, and they going through his whip while either that torn bag or whatever's happening is going on in his gut, sitting there. And then they're gonna go throw him in a cinder block room. Woo, man. The brightest bulbs in the shop.
And here's another baggie located in front of the driver's seat.
The officers recover about 3.5 grams of crack cocaine and around 1 gram of marijuana from the car, along with the cash found in his pocket. These aren't big-time numbers, and Harold maintained that he wasn't even selling it in the first place. He was just smoking a little with his friend.
I ain't had nothing but to smoke a little rock with, that's all. Smoke me a rock, that's all.
Open your mouth, stick your tongue out.
It's gay, man.
Open your mouth, stick your tongue out. Lift your tongue out. Keep your mouth open.
Bruh got jokes. He don't know that he's ODing inside and shit.
I don't got nothing in my mouth, that's what I tell him.
Harold and the officers are both showing perfect conduct, treating each other with respect and staying calm. But remember that the cops know Harold has just swallowed a large amount of crack cocaine, and they seem to be completely ignoring how dangerous this really is. But instead of worrying about that, the cops just shut him in the patrol vehicle and leave him unattended for over 10 minutes before driving him back to the police station. During this drive, Harold starts to become more talkative and excitable.
He could have slumped right there. He could have slumped right there in the back seat. I'm surprised they even got him to the car. I wonder how much he ingested. I don't know if I missed it already.
Sign that the coke is kicking in. When he arrives at the station, this has only gotten more apparent. Compare how he talks here to his demeanor just a short while earlier during the arrest.
I ain't doing it, just let me pass it on. I can't let you swing your arms around the stand. Yeah, okay. Sit down. Man, this is crazy. If I sit down, it's gonna hurt. Here. In about 5 minutes, I'll come back and get you. Cause he got stuck, man. That's how it's with him.
He out of there.
I'm not saying you gonna hurt yourself.
He out of there. Now, the same idiot that been there having a conversation with them, seeing that he was just fine, coherent, talking, articulately, he could understand them. Now he's gibberish, and this dummy don't dawn on him. You know? These guys are real sharp, man. Super detectives, Batman style shit. Yeah, he's hot. Of course he's gonna be hot. You ain't never seen these cokeheads in the bar sweating? You know what I'm saying? Like, his belly is percolating an OD for him.
Your earrings, tongue ring, or ears down, you got no tongue ring.
It doesn't take an expert to realize that Harold is already very...
It doesn't take an expert, but this guy's supposed to be an expert in everything. These guys with these badges, these guns, and these Motorola's, y'all say that they are the expert on everything. These guys know the law, right? Dude just watch dude deteriorate. 15, 20, 30 minutes he been with him, he's watching him deteriorate. He don't get it. It hasn't dawned on him.
Very high. He's talking way more than before, swaying and bouncing around whenever he gets the chance, and has a distinct lack of care for what's going on. The officer should know that something is up with him, but whether he totally missed the signs or just dismissed it as him being a random junkie from the street, he still failed to alert the medical staff of Harold's condition.
Oh, wow.
Instead, he watched him take his hood.
So he didn't notice, he didn't tell nobody, nothing. They're just going on with their regular interrogation business.
And shirt off, indicating a high body temperature, and left the interrogation room.
Boy's dancing on the sun.
Say that young guy damn was you doing because I ain't had no license. All that bad stuff you know is me driving the motherfucking car. Goddamn, know anybody driving the goddamn car.
While the interrogation audio isn't the cleanest, Harold's demeanor and tone tell enough of a story. Right now, he's just feeling the early effects of the huge dose he took.
This is a HELOC. It looks like a credit card, it works like a credit card, but it's actually an easier...
Shut your... Well, trigger warning, because Buddy's going to have a seizure. At some point, he's going to start freaking out.
Right now, he's just feeling the early effects of the huge dose he took. But soon, cocaine toxicity will start to kick in. The footage from this interrogation captures all 4 stages of this process, from where he is now to paranoia and distress, ending with seizures and a loss of consciousness, all without an ounce of medical attention.
No water, nothing. All that sing, he didn't ask for water. He been singing, still no water on the table.
Harold is starting to get louder and angrier, likely stemming from the first sign of a cocaine overdose known as delirium. Specifically, Harold seems to be experiencing excited delirium, a state that is consistent with hyperactivity, paranoia, rising body temperature, and incoherent screaming and shouting. The anger may also come from the fact that since he was arrested, he's told officers he's needed to drink water and use the bathroom, but hasn't been given access to either. In response to this, he yells and asks them if they're gonna let him die there.
Yes. The answer is yes, because that's what they do. They don't give a shit about nothing else, man. It's just what however they care. But they could mishandle any situation and call it an accident and not,
horrifying statements that will soon prove to be more significant than he could have ever realized.
Yeah, he dancing on the sun.
I'm gonna say that God, but he's back on and go, and never get the law.
And they don't get it. That this dude was not acting like this a bit ago at the car when it happened. They don't see nothing happening. They see it. They see it. So who's more maniacal? Who's the bigger dirtbag? The dirtbag drug dealer that swallowed the work, or the dirtbags that sat there and watched them fall apart like that? I'm in Chicago, Glitter. Illinois, United States of America. Yeah, maybe he's probably in a I don't know, man. But who's the bigger demon? The person that watched them, the person that, or the dude that swallowed the drugs, or the person that watched dude sit here and fall apart?
Why do you not have any clothes on?
Why do you think?
And he said, I'm gonna put my shit back on. I'm gonna put his back on. I'm gonna put his back on. I'm gonna call me good. Let me get some water, man. That's all I'm saying. I ain't trying to just sleep it down. You know, but you have to be here. You know, I want some water. I'm going to take a little sip of water. You know, that's it.
Finally, an officer returns and asks if he needs water.
What do you think?
4 minutes later, he brings some in, but his actions afterwards are extremely telling.
It's real shit. It's real shit. But it's not really real. It ain't really. It's just baby.
And then you got other cops that weren't there when they pulled him over. And yeah, but Glitter, it's not their fault that he did it, but it's their fault for watching him die from it. Absolutely not. If you eat on drugs and you die alone, that's on you. But if you eat them drugs in front of the cops, it's their job to get you medical attention immediately. Where you at? Are you a sovereign citizen? Oh, I thought you said Soviet. So am I a sovereign citizen? Keep doing drugs. You're a funny guy. But yeah, it's their responsibility. Save that shit. But yeah, incoherent yelling, wilding out. Dude's sitting here judging them. Look at this fool. Just talking crazy. Not realizing dude's burning up inside.
That's not the way my ass. Y'all know if you do me trying, you know I ain't got no gun or nothing on my ass. I don't ride no gun.
After giving him the water, the officer just asks why he's yelling so much before immediately backing out of the room while Harold is still talking. It's almost as though the officer feels scared or threatened by Harold, amplified by the fact that he refuses to turn his back to him at any point. The cop wants to keep him in his vision so he can feel safe. It's now apparent what the cops are actually doing. It seems as though they think the dosage that Harold took is safe, and are just waiting for it to wear off before they begin questioning and processing him. Given that the arresting officer saw the size of the rock that Harold swallowed, it should have been obvious that it was.
The new best way to make money online that nobody's talking about is something you've never heard before. It's using remote automation. So
wasn't a safe dosage. They only Harold swallowed, it should have been obvious that the arresting officer saw the size of the rock that Harold swallowed. It should have been obvious that it wasn't a safe dosage. They only realized when it was already too late.
Good luck to you. Peace out. Fuck off. Look at this shit. Look at that. Can't control his body no more.
Harold is starting to shake in what are known as pre-convulsive moments. He knows something is wrong, but due to how intoxicated he is, he won't be able to understand what's happening or that he desperately needs help.
He probably don't even remember that he ate that shit. He's just sitting here and his body's going through it.
This is the first stage of cocaine intoxication. His blood pressure will be rising dramatically, his thoughts will become clouded, and he may start to experience hyperthermia, along with the obvious twitching and convulsive motions that are visible. Entering this stage confirms that the substance has essentially poisoned his bloodstream, and even if medics were called now, there is very little they'd be able to do to stop what's to come.
Yep, that's it. Death knell. All of this, they don't see this. They don't see this dude freaking. They just think he's putting on a show. Everybody's putting on a show to them. Like I told you before, they roll up on people in these cars that are having heart attacks and diabetic seizures, and they spray them with pepper spray. They mace them. They do all. They beat them up. Do all kind of shit.
Harold has just had a seizure. the second stage of cocaine toxicity. His entire body began heavily convulsing, he lost control of his muscles, and his body likely started sending less oxygen to his brain and other vital organs. His heart is probably even starting to beat irregularly and skip beats. His body is starting to completely shut down. Harold then spends 2 minutes lying motionless on the table before falling to the ground, having multiple more seizures, each more aggressive than the last.
Look at that.
Harold's...
Now, who's sitting around watching that camera? Oh, they can't afford to have somebody. Shut up. Who's sitting around watching that camera, watching that dude spaz out on the table, on the floor, and they're not doing it? Who's more maniacal? We got our answer from Glitter, who was more maniacal. He said it was a dummy that ate the drugs. That's cool. If you think so, whatever. But who's more maniacal? It's their job, right? To it's their job to not let people die in their custody, right? But that's what's happening here. All this time, he's sitting there freaking out, shaking all this, and nobody enters that room. There's nobody watching. There's probably, I don't know how many interrogation rooms, a couple, 2, 3, 4 interrogation rooms, depending on how big this place is. And somebody's watching that camera. A whole bunch of bodies are allowing this to happen. Fuck out.
Spent almost 10 minutes in this stage of stage 3 cocaine toxicity before an officer finally checked on him, vomiting, hyperventilating, and convulsing the entire time.
Crazy. And then there's a dummy, but maybe it's all them rocks that he swallowed when we stopped him. Oh, you think so, stupid? What do you think?
Harold Easter was rushed to the hospital where he died 3 days later, leaving behind his wife and children. Following the incident, an investigation was opened against the 5 cops involved in the arrest, who subsequently resigned from the force.
How convenient. All 5 officers involved in the arrest were recommended for termination. Get fired. Get fired for watching and allowing a man to die. A man that could have done his time, came back, been a member of society that you guys would deem worthy of life. But they didn't give him that opportunity. They sat there and they watched his body shut off. When instantly, the moment they saw him ingest that, they should have patted him down. They should have had the ambulance on their way already, and they should have got him out of there. But they want to go interrogate him. And they didn't even interrogate him. They just put him in a room and watched him deteriorate. And now they got termination. Now, who's more maniacal? The people that don't want to put the maniacal ones that watch the man die in jail, or the ones that watch the man die in jail? Because they offering terminations, but these guys got to resign and get their money, Good job. Well done. This is America.
No legal action was taken against any of them. However, changes were made to the CMPD's policy following Harold's death. Officers are now required to constantly monitor any suspect in their custody instead of just every 15 minutes.
Bro, they monitored him. They monitored him eat the drugs. They monitored him deteriorate. They monitored him lay across the table. They monitored him shake on the floor like a fish. They monitored him expire. They saw it all. There's no change in policy. It's a change in who they are as people. You know what I'm saying? Policy ain't gonna do nothing. The policy is don't let them die on your watch, and you did that.
And officers must immediately call a medic if they believe a suspect.
Well, that's a common sense policy if you ask me. But again, it's who they are as people. No common sense. Officers must immediately call a medic if a suspect swallows an illegal substance, period.
Has swallowed an illegal substance. The Easter family also received a cash settlement in their wrongful death suit and have announced that they are at peace with moving on. The CMPD showed
You don't have to be a famous YouTuber to make money from YouTube. I've discovered a way to make money from
exactly how not to handle a situation like this. If they'd called a medic any earlier, Harold's life could have been saved. Here's what police should have done, shown when Xavier Franklin suddenly fell ill in their custody.
What would you like us to do for you today? I already went to the hospital.
Just weeks ago from today,
wait.
Should have called a medic any earlier. Harold's not to handle a situation like this. If they'd called a medic any earlier, Harold's life could have been saved.
Absolutely, they'd have called the medic as soon as they pulled the money out of his pocket and said, all right, he ain't got nothing else. And the medic would have been on his way already. Dude would have lived, served his time, came back, rehabilitated, corrected. But no, they watched him die.
Here's what police should have done, shown when Xavier Franklin suddenly fell ill in their custody.
What would you like us to do for you today? I already went to the hospital.
Just weeks ago from today, Franklin was brought into police custody after being arrested for outstanding warrants during a traffic stop.
Step up for me real quick. Let's go put you in handcuffs. You're just detained right now. No big deal.
You got any weapons on you, boss? No. I'll pat you down real quick, right?
Franklin is taken to the police station to be interviewed about his warrants. But before they could even start questioning, he starts to get extremely sick.
There goes tissue, okay? You're right
back. What'd he do? Did he swallow his dope?
In contrast to the CMPD, these Dallas officers immediately noticed that Franklin was in medical distress and brought him towels and a trash can to help clean.
Of course, because they was watching him just like the other guys was watching them. Except these people didn't want a body on their jacket. Well, they didn't really get one on their jacket. It's probably not even on their work record because they retired. They didn't get fired.
Clean things up. The officers also routinely check on him to make sure he's fine, but as it turns out, things couldn't be further from fine.
Everything okay? I'm gonna take your hat real quick. Okay. You okay?
No.
What's wrong?
I just thought of blood.
From what?
Huh?
From what?
I just had a whip job. I'm a recovered alcoholic.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think they got an ambulance coming. Okay. Hang in there.
The officers tell him that an ambulance is on its way, and just minutes later, it arrives.
What's going on with you, man? Throwing up blood. What kind of medical problems you got? Pancreatitis. What would you like us to do for you today? I already went to the hospital. So you already been? So I'd rather go. You'd rather go to the hospital?
As the medics take him to the hospital, you can see just how weak Franklin looks as he struggles to leave the room. Unfortunately, despite the police and medics' best efforts, Franklin died at around 9 p.m. that evening.
What?
As of this video's upload, an autopsy is currently being carried out to determine his true cause of death, and the incident is still under investigation. If you enjoy true crime videos like this,
woo, man, sheesh. You get popped off with your work. You make a last second ditch attempt to not go to jail that day. And for, I don't know, had to be more than an hour altogether from the time that he ingested it to the time that they realized he was done. Had to be more than an hour. Yeah. So, again, there's gonna be people out there that say, "Well, that's the dummy that ate it." That's cool. If he ate it in his living room with his girl and he died from that, cool, dummy. You know what I'm saying? Right? But if he ate it and then he snatched up and handcuffed and put in the room, you know what I'm saying? In his house, his girl got an opportunity to call an ambulance for him. Oh, he just ate his dope. Come and get him. He's dying. He's not acting right. I know he's not acting right. Right? She can get an ambulance. But that's not what they did. They didn't get him an ambulance. And that's their job, is to make sure Buddy don't die in their watch. But they sat him in a room and they watched him on tape as he shivered and fell apart, as he went from coherent to incoherent and fell apart. So, fuck him. Not him, them. He could have been rehabilitated. Can they? Probably not. Probably not. What's up, y'all? Another thing I want to do is shout out all the new subscribers and again all the new viewers. Things been looking up the last couple of days. It's moving, not as fast as I'd like it to move, but it is moving in the right direction. So I appreciate y'all. Wow, that was crazy. Who's more maniacal? That's what worries me about you people. Some of you people have these arguments. Some of you people have these arguments about criminals, right? Not realizing that at one point or another, most people are cutting a corner somewhere, and they ride in the high horse, thinking that they're not criminals, but you're doing something. You're cheating your taxes, cheating. You cutting a corner somewhere. So these people like talking like well, he's a dummy. He ate his drugs or whatever. So basically, then it's okay to watch him die. It's okay for people that are paid by the people to sit there and watch him die. You people weird me out. Y'all are the maniacal ones. Y'all like talking about street people. Y'all like to, them gangsters deserve this. Them drug dealers deserve people. There's nobody more demonic and evil than you people that are okay with watching poor people that, that are not in your tax bracket just thrown away. Judges do it. Cops do it. Everything. So y'all are the ones that scare me, man. Y'all are the ones with the literal skeletons in your closet. That's how I feel about the situation. Let's see what's up with this nurse right here. Dirty ass people. Y'all be in y'all suits at your political rallies or your political fundraisers. Just, wishing the worst on people that already had it 1,000 times worse. But you won't see who's the real demon, which makes you the demon. All right. Let's see what this chick talking about.
This is part that I haven't told you.
Detective realized nurse is the actual killer.
This is part that I haven't told the doctors. How about 9:30? I gave him a dose of 50 milligrams of insulin, non-diabetic. I believe he died the next day.
This was the moment detectives realized 50-year-old Elizabeth Wetlaufer, a seemingly innocent nurse, was actually the secret cause for multiple deaths. On the 11th of August...
Hold on. Let's take a good look at her. Take a good look at her,
y'all. I
y'all.
haven't told the doctors. How about 9:30? I gave him a dose of 50 milligrams of insulin, non-diabetic. I believe he died the next day.
This was the moment detectives realized 50-year-old...
There she is. Elizabeth Wetflower. They're everywhere. I've been telling you they're everywhere, right? They're in your courtrooms, they're in your office, they're at your laundromat, they're in your hospital, they're your police, they're your garbage man. There's somebody everywhere that's a monster. You know what I'm saying? That's a monster. Elizabeth Wetflower. Looks like the chick couple of y'all deflowered.
Elizabeth Wetlaufer, a seemingly innocent nurse, was actually the secret cause for multiple deaths. On the 11th of August...
Of multiple deaths? She's a serial killer. Stop it.
Silcox, a dementia patient, was found dead in his bed at Crescent Care Nursing Home.
Crazy.
With an autopsy coming up with nothing, his death was ruled as natural causes. But over the next few years, the same nursing home discovered patient after patient had died under the exact same circumstances. For 8 years, the cause was a complete mystery to police and doctors.
8 years. Somebody right there that works there in 8 years. These super detectives couldn't figure it out. And she was right under their noses. All 800 pounds of her was right there. Nobody saw it.
Alike until September 2016, when Elizabeth Wetlaufer turned herself in to reveal the horrifying truth behind.
Turned herself in, did their job for them. Well done. You did it again, guys. You guys are the best.
Behind these mysterious deaths, Liz turned herself in at a mental health clinic who promptly contacted police. Hours later, Liz was brought into the interrogation room.
So I just want to go through, like I said, a couple formalities, cover a few little things off.
And then the name of this video is a detective realizes the nurse is the actual killer. He don't realize shit. They didn't realize for 8 years. She had to walk in and spill her beans and her cornbread and her ham and her turkey and everything else.
If you wish to speak to a lawyer at any time, we can make it happen whenever you like.
The interrogation starts with Liz being read her rights. Liz has the right to a lawyer and the right to remain silent. However, it's looking doubtful she'll be exercising either of these rights, as her detective asks a few questions to get to know her.
Back at Meadow Park, what was your addiction?
Hydromark.
And how much were you using?
I was a binge user, so I would use what I could get a hold of. By stealing it from the patient.
Oh,
Liz worked.
She was stealing their medication. She's a monster. She's a monster. She was stealing their medication, eating their food. Yo. And then serial killer on top of it.
As a nursing home worker.
And for 8 years, these dummies couldn't figure it out.
And had access to all her patients' medicine. For years, Liz had been stealing a drug named hydromorphone, a strong painkiller similar to the likes of morphine, and using it secretly to deal with stress. But it turns out addiction wasn't the only mental issue she was dealing with.
So as far as your latest position at St. Elizabeth, that was your last position as a RN, is that correct?
It was.
Okay. And you said you resigned from there?
Yes.
Okay. What brought you to that?
That's where things get a little crazy.
Okay.
This is part that I haven't told the doctors. When my ex and I broke up in 2007, I was already taking the medication for my borderline personality disorder. And I was so angry.
So all of this, so this lady comes in here super diagnosed, right? She's like, oh, you know, all of these disorders, all of this mental mumbo jumbo, right? But there was no record of this. There was none of this had any bearing on her job or in her paperwork or nothing. No red flags. 8 years. Like, come on, man.
And it was like a voice said inside me, I'll use you, don't worry about it.
The voice inside you is the dude you ate 6 summers ago.
Borderline personality disorder for years and took medication.
Do you want to make money online in the next 60
Borderline
days?
personality,
Kindle Direct Publishing
whatever that
is
is.
the way to do it. There you go. That's my secret.
To try and suppress it. Struggled with
The voice said inside me, I'll use you, don't worry about it.
Liz has struggled with borderline personality disorder for years and took medication to try and suppress it. This meant she hadn't let it affect her much, at least not until 2007, where this would change in a horrifying way. The detective then decides to ramp up the pressure, and the interrogation quickly turns from an interrogation to a confession.
Well, what kind of interrogation? She came there to confess. She went to the hospital to confess. There's no interrogation. It's an interview.
So, Mr. Silcox, it says here you were working a double shift from 3 till 7, right?
3 p.m. to 7 a.m.
In Woodstock?
Yes.
Okay. And tell me about your knowledge of James and your daily interactions during a shift with him.
I didn't see him every time. He wasn't always my patient. I just knew from what people had said that he would grab the nurse's breasts and buttocks, and he would say horribly inappropriate things about his wife, that now he was there, you know, just would say different things. And he did touch me inappropriately once.
Jamie Silcox was an 84-year-old veteran with dementia being cared for by Liz and the team. But one evening, care would turn to carnage.
A dirtbag, I think, is a dirtbag with or without dementia. You know what I'm saying? What's there is gonna show itself. You know?
As Liz began to fill with rage and made a choice that would change the course of her life forever.
About 9:30, I gave him a dose of 50 milligrams of insulin, not diabetic. Gave him a dose.
Choice that would turn to carnage. As Liz began to fill with rage.
Look it. They didn't see her. She was right there. They didn't see her.
And made a choice that would
Missed that.
change the course of her life forever.
About 9:30, I gave him a dose of 50 milligrams of insulin, not diabetic, and gave him an insulin shot. Throughout the night, he was yelling out, "I love you," and "I'm sorry." It's not to me, but just you could hear him calling out in his room, and that's what he was calling out. And then at
'Cause he knew he was dying. He knew he was dying. He was getting it all off his chest at that point.
3:30, the PSWs came to me and said that he was gone. Doctor came in.
So she literally sat there and listened to this man that she euthanized. She just listened to him fall out. She's wilding.
And said that his cause of death was from an embolism due to his post-hip. He'd had hip surgery.
Look at that. So then a cop comes in and a cop. Look at, I'm so used to police incompetence. Now it's doctor incompetence. Again, they're your doctors too. There's a bunch of monster doctors, dentists, all of them. Mind you, yeah, there's good people out there, but I'm talking about monsters. Don't come over here with your sympathy for monsters. So a doctor walks in and then confirms it's an embolism that did it. It wasn't the fact that she pumped him with insulin and he's non-diabetic.
Doctor ruled that embolism due to post-hip surgery.
Insulin overdoses occur when someone takes more insulin than they need, regardless of if they're diabetic or not. Too much insulin will dramatically lower the body's blood sugar level, which can cause dizziness, loss of consciousness, and of course, death. What's more concerning, though, is how difficult it can be to identify it as the cause of death. And even in cases where it is identified, it's very difficult to prove it was an overdose of insulin that caused it in the first place. This wasn't even the first time she'd attempted this either. In 2007, she administered 2 other inordinate doses of insulin, but they failed to kill the patients. But while this was the first time she was successful, it was far from the last.
Maurice. How did you pronounce Maurice's last name?
Grenat.
Is it Grenat? Okay.
He was another one who liked to grab breasts and asses. He was sometimes a patient of mine. See, at that time,
I'm calling bullshit. I'm saying she was going into those specific rooms to get her ass and breast touched. That's my vote. That's the kind of monster I think this is. I think she went in there for the attention. She ain't gonna get nowhere else.
I didn't have a set floor that I worked on. I worked on all the different floors of the nurse.
Oh, you had access to kill everybody.
So one afternoon I was working with him and he did grab me. And again, I got that feeling inside that this is his time to go. So I gave him an overdose of insulin after supper.
It's his time to go.
And I believe he died the next day.
And what was his reaction to receiving the insulin?
Again, it was just kind of like, oh, okay. And he said, the doctor wants you to have a vitamin shot. That's what I usually say.
Liz had now begun to refine her method.
If you can click copy and paste on your keyboard, you can make money online. Just like Kieran here, who is just 14 years old.
Shut the fuck up.
Telling the victim it was just a Liz had now begun to refine her method, telling the victim it was just a vitamin shot, and had even hinted towards a motive.
And again, I got that feeling inside that this is his time to go.
Each time she thought about killing somebody, she felt a deep, intense feeling in her stomach that implied God wanted that person back and that their time was up.
And the different times that
she believed in her God telling her to murk everybody and shit.
I have caused people's deaths or caused them discomfort through the insulin. I believe it was the influence of that voice or whatever it was. It wasn't a voice in my head, it was a voice.
Voice is the men that
yeah,
you need alive in your life.
After my marriage broke up, that God was going to use me for something. And then after a while, I started to really wonder after some of the murders if it was God or if it was the devil fooling me.
Did you feel like you were doing the right thing?
Either way, you a foolish bitch.
For these people?
No. I felt like I was doing what I was supposed to do, but it wasn't what was right for them.
While people with BPD can often exhibit impulsive behavior and disturbed patterns of thinking, it's uncommon for patients to be affected the way Liz was. Many BPD patients may experience brief or prolonged episodes of strange experiences, such as hearing voices and feeling compelled to harm themselves or others, but it's exceedingly rare for them to act on them. It's likely her behavior was owing more to the antisocial personality disorder she was diagnosed with later on. Those affected with
all these
ASPD
diagnoses didn't keep her from dealing with old sick people? Like, we that thirsty for nurses that we just hiring anybody around here? Here's the problem. If you go and diagnose everybody at one nursing home, just one, there's 90% of them people are a red flag somewhere.
are often observed to have a severe disregard for the law and the feelings of others. They also often find it harder to control their anger and refuse to let other people stand in the way of their reckless behavior. Neither one of these conditions are solely let other people of others. They also often find it harder to control their anger on. Those affected with ASPD are often observed to have a severe disregard for the law and the feelings of others. They also often find it harder to control their anger and refuse to let other people stand in the way of their reckless behavior. Neither one of these conditions are solely responsible for Liz's behavior.
No.
It was likely a combination of the two that planted the idea in her mind and then allowed her to go through with it with little resistance.
So Gladys, so this takes us to November of 2011 at Christmas.
Let's see if Gladys was an ass grabber or a titty grabber, like she said about those men whose grandchildren had to watch this.
Nursing care. It says here Gladys was a type 2 diabetic and had dementia. How old do you think Gladys was?
92.
92. Okay. Tell me a little bit about Gladys. What was she like when you cared for her?
Well, when I first started caring for her, she was walking and talking, and she had quite the spirit. She once punched a man. Oh.
She gets a kick out of that. Too many of y'all get a kick out of that. You heard that? she punched a man. Shut your stupid asses up, man. You know, that's dumb. That excites you. That gasses you up. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. This lunatic here, she don't feel no guilt for killing nobody, but she's all giddy because a woman punched a man in the face.
Because she overheard the nurses telling one of the gentlemen, no, you can't push your wife around, you have to come with us. And she turned around and she said, you can't treat a woman like that. Boom!
And hit the man.
And hit the man.
Oh,
and then we're all in a state of trying to keep them from fighting with each other and trying to keep them from hurting us.
Right.
Yeah, she was very spunky. But she went downhill fast.
Did she?
Eventually, she had dementia, didn't take her pills well, didn't eat well, very stubborn woman. And as always, one evening I just got that red surging feeling that she was going to be the one. And gave her insulin overdose.
Did you ever get that feeling outside of work?
No, never.
No.
Did you ever get that feeling for
going to
yourself?
work, knowing that something was going to happen that shift?
No, it always happened at work.
So, if I were to use the phrase spur of the moment, would it be something that you would just have that feeling come on? Or
Yeah, I guess you
would
could
it
say
build up?
spur of the moment, but it usually start happening, focused on one patient, and then I would feel that red surging, which is what made me think it was God.
What's up, affiliate marketers? How you doing? Michael Bashy here. Now, really quick, listen. I know you don't want to be...
Which I'm so embarrassed.
Like I said, I'm not here to judge you. Right?
I know.
Right?
The judges
One
for
of the
that.
most strange things about Liz is how casual she is throughout the entire
chilling.
confession. Not only is she happy to tell the
Cold-blooded.
detectives all the details she can remember about the murders themselves, but also laughs and tells stories about the victims the entire time. However, she also admits to feeling embarrassed about thinking the feeling was God, showing that she feels as though she has a strong personal image to uphold, but has a complete lack of remorse for her victims. This thought process is indicative of a sociopath, but no personality tests or analyses have ever reinforced this idea.
September or October of 07.
What the hell
and
in
then
do?
Helen was 2011.
Yeah. Helen, I don't remember a lot about. She was very quiet, very determined. Just seemed to be waiting to die. Again, I had that feeling that was the one.
Again, I had that feeling. That's her every night. She go lay down. She had that feeling to go back to the refrigerator Again, I had that feeling. Again, I had that feeling. Again, I had
And,
that feeling.
I made a bit of a fuss about her that night because she was very lucid, and we talked about how much she liked blueberry pie and ice cream.
Okay.
So on my break, I went to Walmart. I got a small blueberry pie and some ice cream, and brought it to her, and she ate 3 or 4 bites. And then that night, I overdosed her. Like I said, I had that feeling that it was her time to go, and
she had that feeling again.
She was towards the end of her life at that point.
know that she was the person to go to.
And that was in your mind, in your stomach.
They're everywhere, y'all.
In my chest area.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere. They work everywhere. They're at your liquor store, corner store, school. They're everywhere. Just monsters.
After I did it, I got that laughter.
When would you feel that?
And somebody will come into this chat at some point. Somebody will come into the comments and judge me for judging this animal. And at no point judge this animal, right? And I have to question who they are as human beings, as people. Fuck
that laughter, would you feel it right after you injected it, or once the person passed away?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
As well as the feeling in her stomach before the murder, Liz also mentions feeling as though there's laughing coming from her chest. Given that it happens both as she's administering the dose and after she hears the victim is dead,
8
this
years.
feeling is likely just an exaggerated feeling of gratification from knowing that her job has been completed.
Damn.
Psychopaths are thought to have a severe case of ASPD, and studies have shown that psychopaths also have a much stronger reaction to immediate gratification. This is what compels psychopaths to make more impulsive decisions, as they value the reward more than an unaffected person. And it's possible this just manifests in Liz as a more physical manner than usual, causing the almost euphoric laughing sensation.
Just out of curiosity, how much insulin would it take to kill someone that wasn't diabetic?
Oh, don't give me the I don't know. If anybody knows, it's you. And how the hell you not diabetic?
No.
You didn't know that as a nurse, that this amount? Or?
No, there is no set amount.
Okay. And I just simply just don't know that answer.
There is no set amount.
Okay. Different people would react differently to different amounts, is that fair to say?
Yes.
And would it obviously make a difference if they were diabetic or not a diabetic?
Yes.
You don't say a lot of negative things about Helen here. Did you get along with her okay? Did she ever do anything to harm you, or?
No, she was very quiet. It was just, I got that feeling that she's next, it's her time to go.
Wow. Liz had no problems with Helen, and even went out of her way to get her favorite food before killing her. This creates a strange dynamic where she obviously feels some form of remorse both before and after the murder, but still goes through with it without hesitation. But of course, the biggest show of remorse was when she decided to turn herself in the first place. Something that's understandable for a neurotypical person who's
Now let me ask you, after 8 years, is it a show of remorse, or is it a selfish decision because now you can't sleep? You know what I'm saying? People be like, he showed remorse. Listen, let's use G-Dep. G-Dep is a rapper, right? G-Dep is a rapper that he killed a man when he was very young, and he got away with it, and he became a star, became an artist at Bad Boy. Then after that, he was getting high. The guilt was killing him. It wasn't about, I'm sure it could have been. There's a possibility that it could have been, he was remorseful. But most of the time, it's a more selfish thing. I can't live with it no more. Me. So she just couldn't live with it no more. I don't think she felt remorse. I just think it was bothering her so much. Maybe that is remorse. I don't know. I don't think it is. I just think it's selfish. I think naturally the spirit or the brain or whatever, the soul is saying, wow, you know what you did? And if you can't sleep with that and you go turn yourself in, well, that's just you trying to fix something for yourself because you're all fucked up now. So to me, it's selfish. She could have smoked herself. She should have insinuated herself.
When it comes to serial killers who have operated over the span of multiple years. She stated that she does understand the difference between right and wrong, and never claimed to take pleasure from the murders, saying that she felt who have operated
No
over
pleasure?
the span
She
of
laughed from
multiple
her
years.
chest.
She stated that she
Big
does
laugh.
understand the difference between right and wrong and never claimed to take pleasure from the murders, saying that she felt terrible after every single one and even tried to reach out for help on a few occasions.
I can imagine it. Does it feel like a weight off your shoulders?
Yeah.
Hell no.
You've been carrying
There's never been a weight off of her shoulders, not those
the burden
shoulders.
for quite some time.
And I've tried to get help.
Yeah, well, sometimes it takes a few attempts to finally commit to it, right?
Yeah, I had a pastor that I told him, he prayed over me and told me I'd be fine. And those.
She just made the pastor an accomplice after the fact. I don't know if it was in a confessional, and I don't know how that holds up in court, but she just implicated a pastor.
God's grace. And then
When was that?
Look, he can say, when was that? Who was that? What's his name? Where's he at? Let me talk to him. Why? Because he should have called us about you. Because we don't have to do our job after 8 years and investigate. He should have called us about you.
Halloween 2013.
And you kind of divulged to what had happened to you to that point in your life with
Yes.
involving these people?
Yes.
Okay. And where was that?
That was here in town.
Liz then went on to confess to 8 murders in total, as well as attempting it on 6 more people, some within just days of each other. She'd given into
6
the urges-
attempts. Oh, shit. 8 bodies, 6 6 attempts.
for 8 years
Wow.
in total, all the while knowing what she did was wrong, and frankly, disgusting. It took her until 2016 to finally head to a mental health and addiction institute to confess and write up the 4-page documents the detective has been reading from.
Okay, we're gonna wrap things up, but here's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
Okay, and part of this is gonna be up to you. What are your plans going forward from here?
Going forward from here, I want to go home. I want to have a good night's sleep.
Okay.
I want to spend Thanksgiving weekend with my family.
Okay.
And I want to be available to the police at any time they need me. And if I have to come back for trial, I have to come back for trial.
Unfortunately, Thanksgiving with her family is...
Yo, man, the demands that these lunatics be making, boy. And the defenses that you lunatics give them. Shit. She just told him, I want Thanksgiving with this is not a negotiation. This is a demand. I want Thanksgiving dinner with my family. I want to eat all of their food. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna go I'll be available to y'all when y'all need me, and I'll be ready to come back to trial when I'm ready to come back to trial. But right now, I want to go home. I want to have Thanksgiving with my family and back up. Tripping.
It's far from where she was heading. Instead, she was formally charged with 8 counts of murder.
Don't she look like if Arya Stark just gave up, and Arya Stark just started eating everything in Winterfell, and killing everybody in the old folks ward and shit on the castle? That's her right there. Damn. Serial killer. Look at your next door neighbor. It could be her. It could be your nurse. It could be your doctor.
Murder, 4 counts of attempted murder,
First degree
and
murder,
2 counts of
attempted murder, aggravated assault.
In 2017, she waived her right to a preliminary hearing and confessed in court to all challenges. On the 26th of June 2016, Elizabeth Wetlaufer was sentenced to 8 consecutive life sentences, ensuring the only good night's sleep she'll be getting for the rest of her life will be behind bars.
There you
Wish
go.
you didn't have to pay full price for Nintendo
Did it to
gear?
yourself.
This
Look,
tool can
Arya
help with that.
Stark.
It automatically compares Amazon's.
Gangsters are supposed to be
Bogus.
seen as tough thugs with little regard for the law.
Let's unpack that for a second. So again, there was no prerequisite. Nobody knew all of these diagnoses that she had. Nobody knew none of this stuff, none of the way she is, none of the way she was. And for 8 years, they couldn't figure out it was her. She implicated a pastor that she confessed to, which I'm sure they've tried to follow up on. And she turned herself in over whatever, whether it was selfish or whether she just wanted to be able to sleep. Well, good luck. You got eight L's. 8 L's. You had 6 attempts too. You wildin'. Crazy. Whew. If you have yet to hit the subscribe button, please do. If you have yet to hit the like button, please do. If you got something to drink, salute, and smoke them if you got them. We're going to do, a wannabe gangster realizes he's going to jail. Happens.
Gangsters are supposed to be seen as tough thugs with little regard for the law. But what happens when fake gangsters are faced with real prison time?
I don't want to go back to jail with no dumb yeah.
These are three
They're
never
like,
before
yo,
seen.
don't worry about it. You don't have to go to jail, man. You hungry? Are you hungry? Listen, this is what I'm going to do for you. You chill out, stop crying, relax. I'm going to go get this Wendy's. I'm going to get you like a big old Baconator, some soda, fries, chicken rings, the whole 9 yards. You know what I'm saying? You calm down, wipe your tears, stop thinking about going to jail. You don't have to go to jail. And I'm going to come back and we're going to have lunch and we're going to talk. All right? That's what's happening.
Examples of when wannabe gangsters realizing they'll be serving prison.
Now, where does your mom hide the drugs? Okay. And your dad? Okay. And just rats out everybody that he's ever known.
Starting with the case of 18-year-old
For a
Conrad
damn
Troja,
Baconator.
who in September of 2010 was leaving school when he was approached by a man holding a handgun. Conrad was ordered to take off his bag and hand it over, but when he refused, he was shot in the chest by the man. Miraculously, Conrad managed to stumble away from the scene and call for help before collapsing and dying on the spot. The suspect fled immediately, but was later identified as Edtavion Wilcox, who was brought in for attempted murder. But as it turns out, he wasn't all that tough in the interrogation room.
Alright, here's the deal. You know something else happened. I don't
Wait. The buddy in the...
Stumble away from the gun.
Did he live?
Conrad was ordered to take off his bag and hand it over,
Boom,
but
up
when
the
he
bag.
refused, he was shot in the chest by the
Bam,
man.
shot in the chest.
Miraculously, Conrad managed to stumble away from the scene and call for help before collapsing and dying on the spot.
Dang, he died.
The suspect fled immediately, but was later identified as Edtavion Wilcox, who was brought in for attempted murder. But as it turns out, he wasn't all that tough in the interrogation room.
Wait a minute, man. I thought Buddy died. Why is he brought in for an attempted murder if Buddy died?
Alright, here's the deal. You know something else happened. I don't sit here and talk to you without knowing what the deal is, alright? We've been talking to people.
See, cops like to make you think that they don't have you there without knowing what the deal is. But if you look at the video that I dropped, I believe it was today, Innocent Man versus Delusional Cop, that cop didn't know shit. That cop had a description that they even went against. So they go in there talking.
Been interviewing people. We've been showing people
Just
pictures.
talking.
We've been looking at video. I didn't bring you up here because you weren't wearing your seatbelt, okay? You got arrested for a burglary before and they didn't even bring you up here. Obviously, it's something a little more serious.
Wilcox is trying to remain calm and pretend as though he's got no idea what this is all about. Little does he know, his getaway driver had also been apprehended and confessed.
He took the Baconator. He took the Baconator.
To everything. Now the detective just has to find a way to get him to confess as well.
This is going to go one of two ways. You're either going to be a guy who made a mistake, hanging around the wrong place, the wrong time, did something dumb, or you're going to be a guy that goes out and likes to shoot people for fun, okay? Listen, and before you say anything, I think you're a guy that made a mistake. I know you were there, okay? I know what happened. I've talked to the victim. The victims picked you out of a photo lineup and said, that's the guy that shot me, okay? Here's the deal. I don't think you...
I'm going to go back one more time because they said dude died.
Gun. Conrad was ordered to take off his bag and hand it over.
He was by himself, right, Conrad? Or maybe he was with people, but he's the only one shot.
When he was approached by a man holding a handgun. Conrad was ordered to take off his bag and hand it over, but when he refused, he was shot in the chest by the man. Miraculously, Conrad managed to stumble away from the scene and call for help before collapsing and dying on the spot.
The
suspect fled immediately, but was later identified as Edtavion Wilcox, who was brought in for attempted murder. But as it turned out,
this
ended
cop
up
just
shooting
told him
and killing
he spoke
an
to the
innocent
guy that
civilian.
he shot. So
no
I'm
matter
confused.
who you
We'll
are,
see what happens.
you'll be feeling scared. A feeling that'll only be amplified when a police officer asserts that they know exactly what happened. Wilcox will be feeling rattled now. As the cop talks, he's slumped over in his chair, implying he's interested in what the cop is saying, and as soon as he's allowed to talk, all his responses sound confused and even bewildered. The cop knows he has him on the back foot. Now he just needs to close it out.
You're 18, right? You're 18, yes?
Yeah.
This is where you need to stand up and be a man and admit you made a mistake. I know you weren't trying to kill that guy. I know that, because you're not the kind of guy that does that. You panicked, you got scared, you got in over your head. The victim's making you out to be a stone cold, just straight up thug killer. Guy that doesn't give a about anybody else, all right?
I could have stayed big late for this shit, man.
If you keep going down the path you're going down, telling me you didn't have anything to do with it, it's not you, who are people going to believe? Are they going to believe you, or are they going to believe the victim? They're going to have to believe the victim, because you didn't give me your side of the story.
Wilcox is being pushed into a corner. The detective is using the facts that he knows Wilcox is just in over his head, but is using language in such a way that makes him feel like he's accused of being this cold-blooded monster. His reactions to this prove just how well this technique is working. He stares at the ground, implying shame, and rubs his head in a pacifying behavior.
He says, "You
that
got a
shows
baconator?"
how stressed he is.
I tell you everything.
A guy that sits there like you is not a guy that goes around and kills people. You understand what I'm saying? You have remorse. You're sorry. I can see it on you. You just need to take that next step. What happened in that parking lot? Did you guys plan it? Or did it just happen? Huh?
Lawyer!
I can't.
Oh,
what'd you say?
You ain't been to jail yet. You 18 now, Bubba. You 18 now with a body on you, or an attempted body on you.
Ain't trying to go back to jail.
Don't, remember how we talked about that? Don't think about that. That's the least of your concerns right now.
In a breakdown that's far from gangster, Wilcox starts to cry and laments on how he absolutely can't go back to jail. The detective uses this moment of vulnerability to press him further and tells him he has one last opportunity to be honest and let everybody know that he isn't the monster they think he is.
I got your back.
You say, "Stop hitting me or I'm gonna shoot you"? Anything like that?
I was like, I had my hand like right here.
No, you had your left hand like up against him?
Yeah.
Trying to push him away?
I was trying to make him stop hitting me.
Where was the gun?
He was hitting you.
Which pocket? How many times did you shoot? What happened after you pulled the trigger? Did he fall down, or was he was still standing up? Where'd you hit him?
I didn't even know I hit him.
Okay. So you fired that one round. What happened? You just froze up?
And just like that, Octavian Wilcox confessed to shooting Conrad Tohan and was sentenced to life in prison, all over a school bag. But while he'll be spending the rest of his life in prison, Demetrius Cox
said he killed him.
You just froze up?
And just like that, Octavian Wilcox confessed to shooting Conrad Tohan and was sentenced to life in prison, all over a school bag. But while he'll be spending the rest of his life in prison, Demetrius Cox wasn't so lucky. Throughout the beginning of 2020, a war between rival gangs 438 and AFNF began to break out. Many shootings were reported with dozens of deaths.
So the other guy tried to rob somebody in a parking lot. I heard too many stories right there. He said he got smacked up, then he shot him. I don't know. But you got life. You donezo. But did the other guy die? He confessed.
And just like that, Octavian Wilcox confessed to shooting Conrad Tohan and was sentenced to life in prison.
Yeah, it must have been
over a school bag.
life.
But while he'll be spending the rest of his life in prison, Demetrius Cox wasn't so lucky. Throughout the beginning of 2020, a war between rival gangs 438 and AFNF began to break out. Many shootings were reported with dozens of deaths attributed to just these two gangs, with one of these occurring on the 14th of April. Shots were fired at a house party in Davenport, Florida, resulting in the death of 20-year-old Wolf Luma. The killer was identified almost immediately as Demetrius Cox, also 20 years old. 2 weeks later, Cox was brought in on the suspicion of murder, and an interrogation began, ending in one of the most shocking moments in interrogation history.
Dang, dude. Sir, how you doing? You can say my name? I can.
Damn.
And I didn't check it out before because we weren't able to, but now we can, right?
All right, what's up?
Number one, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty impressed of the way
of the way you've handled this. You could be one of us.
In the fashion industry. Creator.
Now, we got this Baconator for you.
Just overall, your persona as it is. So I appreciate the respect. Thank you. It's going to be given right back to you, okay?
Okay. Cox starts the interrogation out respectfully, but as the interview continues, he starts to annoy the detective by withholding information that could get members of his gang into trouble. This type of loyalty is extremely common in these types of cases, but can prove to work against you, as is seen just a few minutes later.
I'm not saying you went there for the wrong reasons. However, man, I tell you one thing. You know how they say, like, victims, and suspects, things like that? I thought that you were a victim.
Sure, y'all make it like I'm a suspect.
No. I thought you were a victim, and I thought that you were going to give us the justification, the explanation for what happened. But you come in here, and you can't even with little details like that, like, who cares? If Papa J's there, why can't you just be honest and say, yeah, he was there?
We hung out.
But
I got another question.
What's so like hard about the truth?
What's interesting about this case, though, is that the cop actually isn't 100% sure that Cox is the killer. As Cox mentions earlier, most of the evidence in the case is hearsay, and detectives...
Cox in there thinking he a lawyer. Just go in there and scream lawyer. Even if they sending you a bum-ass lawyer, you need a lawyer, dog, because you in there trying to go back and forth. This guy isn't even, good at this, and he's tripping you up.
Could have a hard time using it in court. This is why Cox is here in the first place. If they could extract a confession, it'd make their lives a whole lot easier. But Cox isn't budging.
Okay, listen. If you want to tell me what happened, I'm all ears, man.
I just tried to tell you what happened.
Look at me in my face. Look at me in my face. If you tell me the truth, I will believe you.
Yeah, right.
Explanation for what happened.
So you trying to say I'm the explanation or something? That's what I'm asking.
It's like you're hearing me, but you're not listening to me. Listen.
I'm listening to you, but you're not letting me. You gotta break it down for me. Please just break it down.
Listen to me. Okay. I think that you might have been a victim, but I cannot believe a victim when they leave little things out, little details about that night.
Well, all you did was give him that, whatever that is on the plastic, and them 2 little whack-ass water bottles, and one of them's probably that. Get that boy a Baconator. He'll give you everything. Let's see if he falls apart.
Okay.
Mister, I told you all I know.
Some bad happened, man.
I understand what
and
you're
I don't
saying.
think that you forced it. I don't think that you
the
or
cop
your
don't know
buddies or
nothing.
anybody else,
All you gotta do is stay shut.
Maybe you're running your mouth a little bit. But it wasn't justified what happened. Okay?
Eventually, the detective decides that he's not going to get anything else out of Cox and calls off the interrogation. But that's not where the case ends. In fact, the most interesting but tragic part happened just hours after the interrogation was held. Later that day, Cox was released on bail, but 11 hours later, he was shot and killed by another gang member. Meaning, if he had actually confessed, he just might have spared his own life, even if it was spending that life in prison. But while Cox may have kept it together in his interrogation and preserved his gangster image, the same cannot be said for Cody.
They knew where he was at. They didn't see the handshake until afterwards, but they knew where he was at. But both those stories don't, again, this is another title. Wanna Be Gangster realizes he's going to jail. I mean, I guess he realizes he's going to jail, but there's nothing to it like both stories. I'm looking for the
foreign count, a gangster whose crime was littered with errors and released on
let's see
bail.
what this guy's talking
meaning
about.
If he had actually committed that life. The stupidity from the very for Cody Forencount.
Cody
A
Forencount.
gangster whose crime was littered with errors and stupidity from the very start. After his phone was stolen at a convenience store, Cody went on a tyrannical rampage around his area looking for any signs of the stolen device. Surveillance footage captured him walking past 15-year-old Deshaun Hills, pulling a gun from his backpack and firing 3 shots at the boy, killing him instantly. Witnesses and surveillance footage helps police identify Cody almost immediately, and he was quickly brought in for interrogation.
Like I said, what I just did with the people yesterday, these motherfuckers was able to do this to me. They was able to look at
What?
Okay. I'll take a look at this in a second. I'm saying, look how they do me.
Okay.
Look how they do me. They just kicked my mom's door open, man.
Well, they didn't.
Hi, the hell's he talking
Jimmy
about?
Pay's here with Bitrix 24, a free CRM.
Yeah, they did, man. I was on the phone, man.
Who kicked in your mama's door?
We were there. We were there at your mom. Come on, man.
They were at your mom's.
I ain't about that. Okay, I don't gang bang.
They were at his mom's.
You know what I mean? I ain't with the guns.
Cody here is referring to a search warrant that was used by police to gain access to his mother's house and collect evidence. While his anger about this is likely from a place of truth, he's also using it as a way to try and argue his innocence. This is also backed up by the fact that he immediately tells the cop that he has nothing to do with gang activity or guns. But it won't take long for this facade to fall apart.
We're here because you're involved with this murder. You've told people. That's why you're here. That's why you're not in Minneapolis. Okay? We have talked to people, all right, that have put you there at the scene. There's video of you at the scene.
The whole time.
The whole time. Okay, we know why you're there.
I ain't buying it, man.
You're not buying it. I'm not here to lie to you, though. Why would I lie to you?
I ain't buying it.
You're on video. Okay, people are talking to you. You're talking to them. Okay?
You approach people and talk to
He
them.
thirsty now. They caught him out there. He thirsty now.
Evening of the murder, Cody had been walking around the area asking people if they saw the person that took his phone and aggressively confronting people that he suspected. He was also clearly seen on surveillance footage at multiple stores
Can't
and
go
businesses
nowhere.
in the
Cameras is gonna line you up. The way the cameras are set up out there to make a thread of all your movements if they really want to. If they really want to, they make a long thread of all of your movements. I mean, basically, all they need is your phone to do that. That's all that. That's
Minneapolis area, so any arguments he has here that he was elsewhere are completely invalid.
Like I said, I ain't like I said.
Cody, all we're trying to
Y'all know it all.
do. Here's the thing.
Y'all know it all.
Lance, can I just say something? If I was sitting in your chair and I had.
Dude, I got mercy, dude.
Hold on a second.
I got mercy, dude. Look at this shit.
Sit down.
Look at this shit.
Sit down.
Look at this shit.
Yep, sit down.
Yeah, it's crazy. So,
Just sit down for one.
I don't even want, like,
Here's
I'm
one
so
thing.
fucking mad.
One thing. Hold
I'm
on.
so fucking mad right now. No, I was supposed to. ERT, ooh. They all talking about some goofy shit that I don't
Goofy?
know about.
It's a murder.
Some goofy shit.
It's a murder.
Some goofy shit. Like I ain't there.
Well, here's what I'm gonna say, just before we go, okay? Was that
we got you on
if
tape.
I was sitting in your chair and I had two people ask me where I was on a specific day, and they're saying that I did a murder.
That's what Durfee did with me just yesterday.
I'm not talking about Durfee.
I'm saying if you ask me what I ate for dinner, I might not remember.
Also take a look at Cody's language and demeanor in general. Right from the start, he's been defensive and attempting to combat every single thing the detectives have said to him. Instead of respectfully listening to their points and trying to give counters to the cops' evidence, he either talks over them or just says, "I don't believe you," and fails to give any evidence in his defense. If Cody was innocent, he'd likely be doing everything he can to stay on the cop.
You can't deny everything and then not have something of your own.
It's a good side, and help them out by providing evidence that would acquit him. And as it turns out, he was about to start providing evidence. Evidence that would send him straight to jail.
Oh, you would have Wally's and boom, 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 boom.
You were by Wally's, absolutely.
I was by Wally's. You were? Y'all don't know the motherfucking story.
Well, tell me.
The motherfucker supposed to be in the motherfucking face, stole my phone, all that stupid shit. That don't mean I pulled the motherfucking trigger. Just because some people say some shit.
Well, it's the camera that said
That's what it is. That's what it is. So y'all gonna go with the f you here anyway. I was over at the store and I got fucking my. That's what that was.
Who jumped you?
I don't like I said, I don't know. That don't make me no murder. I called my big cousin. My big cousin come get me.
Oh, he came and got you, or did you just indict your big cousin too?
What it looked like? I said one was I don't. Nothing came with it.
When
You act like can I pull the trigger on somebody?
When did you get jumped, or when did you get your stuff robbed? Cody, so somebody jumped you for your phone, right? Did they get anything else from you? Or did you have money?
Cody died.
Wallet, ID.
Look, another one gone in the interrogation room.
Man, check it out. Argue with my
In an outburst of more anger, Cody has just put himself right next to the scene of the crime and given the officers a motive for the murder.
Yeah.
For the next 4 minutes, Cody scrambled to get himself out of the hole he just dug himself into.
Sorry, Charlie.
But it was already too late. With the evidence they already had, plus what essentially amounted to a full confession, Cody was found guilty of murder and sentenced to 38 years behind bars.
You may think that what I'm
A
wearing
big
right now
38,
is soft body.
Papas.
And I don't blame you because it looks
You got
like
mad, they took your stuff. You got mad, you went and smoked somebody. 38 years, had that. The other kid got life, and the other kid got smoked same day. Y'all out here wilding. The video was, See what else we got. Popping with y'all. Smoke them if you got them. Who's watching Top Boy? If you ain't watching Top Boy, watch Top Boy. I just finished it. A bunch of MCs turned actors killing it. Let's see what else we got here. When entitled people think they're above the law. Let's see if this compilation is decent.
Your driver's license?
I don't have to give you a driver's license to drive.
Of course not.
Your driver's license?
I don't have to give you a driver's license to drive a car. This is not a commercial vehicle.
Be careful, because sometimes I am my son working from FBI.
Oh, your son works for the FBI. You gotta be careful. Gotta be careful.
Put in place to safeguard people. When people break those laws, they're punished. But what happens when people think these same laws don't apply to them? Here are 4 shocking times when people believed they were above the law, starting with this anonymous woman who on January 17th, 2022 had been pulled over after going at 54 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone. An officer conducting a routine check on Pensacola Bay Bridge came across this vehicle and, having seen this, decided to pull it over to inspect what was going on without any idea of the kind of person he was about to encounter.
Not realizing that they talk about all these dirt bags that swallow their illegal street drugs, and all of them are hopped up on all kind of pharmaceuticals, man. They just got a receipt for it. You know what I'm saying? But they're all doped up. Look at her eyeballs. Light on, no light on. Look at her face. She's on everything that they got behind that counter over there.
Young lady, Officer Banks, got Breeze Police Department. I'm pulling you over. You're doing 54 and a 35. Any reason for that speed tonight?
Where's the 35?
Before you got off the bridge, and as soon as you came off the bridge. All this is 35.
I was going 40, I thought.
Nope. You got your license, registration, proof of insurance.
You don't have to have a license to drive a car.
Yes, you do.
You do not.
15-7, 41 with me.
Having been explained why she was being pulled over,
somebody told her that she read a meme, she saw an audit or something that says she didn't need it. She's probably gonna pull the traveler shit. I'm a traveler, or what she say? You only need a license if it's a conversion vehicle.
the woman doesn't see her fault, and when requested for a driver's license, she makes the shocking statement that she's not required to have one to drive a car. Now, this is something you only see in the movies.
Step out the vehicle.
Am I not a crime?
Yeah, you are being detained right now. Step out the vehicle, young lady.
I know my rights.
Either you step out the vehicle or I will remove you from the vehicle.
She knows the statute that says I don't need a license.
I know my rights.
15-7, sovereign supervisor. Sovereign citizen.
Supervisor. She remembers that from TikTok.
You hear what I said?
Supervisor. Get a white shirt.
No, you need to step out the vehicle right now.
He said no.
Young lady, step out the vehicle. Step out the vehicle. Last time I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask, and then I'm going to make you step out the vehicle.
You're going to get me a supervisor out here right now.
No, you're going to step out the vehicle right now.
As the officer asks her to step out of her vehicle, she denies it and instead asks for his supervisor, claiming to know her rights. But does she really?
I know my rights.
What right is that?
I do not have to have a driver's license to drive a car. I am not. This is not a commercial vehicle.
Okay.
I know my rights.
Okay.
Very well.
That's what you want to stick with?
Call the supervisor.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
All right.
You're gonna drag her. Is he gonna call his supervisor? Or is he gonna drag her by her scarf, her earpiece, and her zannies?
Else what?
I know my rights.
If I don't call supervisor, else what?
I guess we're not gonna go.
Hey, it's me, your skin. Some cleansers get us clean, but take my moisture. CeraVe Cleanse.
Go anywhere then.
Okay. So just hold it for me and go and give me the channel.
You need to get a supervisor out here.
Yeah, our channel 1 will be 1033.
They can educate you on what the law is. She thinks she's
This
an
woman is
auditor.
clearly delusional. She claims she doesn't need a driver's license to drive around because it's not a commercial car. The officer, who's amused, is taken aback when she says she could teach the law to him.
Okay. So you're not going to give me a driver's license?
I'm not going to give you a driver's license. I don't have to give you a driver's license.
Okay.
I'm traveling. I don't have to have a driver's license to drive a vehicle.
Okay.
I say he's
In
not
what state
calling
is that?
nobody. I'm saying he's going to snatch her out that whip.
Any state. It's common law, natural law,
Okay.
constitutional law.
Okay.
You need to get a supervisor out here.
I do?
Yes.
Okay.
Her declarations that it's a natural and constitutional law in all states to not have a driver's license
Everywhere.
if you're driving non-commercially are absolutely nuts. At this point, the officer couldn't believe the audacity of this woman to persistently ask for his supervisor as an
So all she
excuse
knows
to
how to
not
do is
provide
TikTok.
any of her details and calls for his sergeant. Not long after the officer's sergeant
Called
arrives
him.
at the scene and is put in context.
Look at her face when she sees the sergeant. She thought that officer was no nonsense. Sergeant came in there on some Undertaker shit. How you gonna choke slammer?
Of the whole situation.
I said he's gonna pull her out.
Unfortunately for her, he's not as calm as the first
Yeah.
officer.
You do need a license to drive a vehicle. You do have to identify yourself to these officers.
I do not have to have a license to drive a vehicle.
Yes, you do.
I do not.
You're wrong, but okay.
I know common law, natural law.
I don't care about common law.
constitutional
You're in the
I
state
know
of
that
Florida.
You don't.
You're in the state of Florida.
Law.
You're in the state of Florida.
It doesn't matter in what state
It
I'm
does
in.
matter.
I'm in the U.S.
It does matter. So you better hope the information you gave us comes back as to being you. So at this point in time, I need you to shut the vehicle off and step out of the car.
I'm not getting out of the vehicle.
You're gonna get out of the car.
I haven't been suspected of a crime.
The Undertaker's
You are
coming
being
to get
legally
you.
stopped on a traffic stop. You are not being cooperative. It is not a Terry stop.
What
Trust me,
crime
I
am
know the
committing?
difference. You were speeding.
Speeding
Turn the
is a
vehicle
crime.
off and get out of the car. Out of the car now. Undo the
Let me
seatbelt.
turn the vehicle off.
Turn it off now.
Officer Schaefer, unbuckle her.
Put all that down.
Step out, turn around, face away from me.
He's broken in half.
Turn
I
around.
do not have to have a driver's license
Oh well,
to drive a
you didn't want him to
vehicle.
snatch
you
you.
No, I do not.
Well,
You
then
knew
can
better
tell that
than
to the
you knew
judge
he
if
was
you end
gonna
up going to
snatch
jail.
you.
I do not have to have a driver's license
going
to
to
drive a
jail.
vehicle. I have all the laws right there.
I
in the
don't
back
care
of my
what I don't
car.
care what laws you say you
I
have.
know that you don't care because you're
Then
supposed to be a police officer.
you should
a
know
peace
that
officer.
you should know that this conversation's over then.
Unfortunately for this woman, her imaginary laws don't apply in Florida, and she's detained. Once in the back seat of
Man,
the
Florida
car,
ain't got
she
that many
surprisingly
laws.
starts asking if she can call her mom.
Can I please
That's
call
one.
my
No.
mother?
You cannot.
Why?
Because you don't need to call you. Are you an adult?
Right.
Yes.
Then why
All
do you
right.
need to
So
call-
now let's argue. Because a lot of y'all were in the comments the other day talking about the DUI where the girl hit the light pole. She said she hit a deer, and she kept saying, "My daddy's a sheriff. My daddy's a sheriff." And they called her daddy, and her daddy came there, and they said, "Oh, her daddy's not looking to help her, you know, and he's just there." And I called bullshit. That, oh, he's a great dad. He did this. My point is, she's an adult. Nobody else gets to call their mommy and daddy to come over there and talk to them and ask these officers who their sergeant is. Like, you're saying, oh, no, he chose not to use his status as a... No, he absolutely used his status as a police officer just being there to begin with. So save that shit. Save that shit. Okay? He used his authority as a police officer to be there. And I'll make sure that video is linked at the end of this, so you can go complain to yourself.
Call your mother.
To come and get me from jail since I'm being illegally detained.
You will be able to call her once you get there.
Can I at least lock my car?
We will make sure it is secure.
Adderall, look at it.
What are you gonna do with my car?
Probably tow it.
Why?
Because
you don't got a license.
You are driving without a license.
I don't have to have a license.
Show me.
That is commercial driving.
It is not commercial driving.
Yes, it is.
Having asked to call her mother is a clear
driving.
sign of the type of person she is and how she was raised, never taking responsibility for her actions and being always protected from the consequences. Seeing no way out of the situation, her demeanor and complete attitude all of a sudden changes to that of a cooperative person.
I never drive
Just
again.
Be honest.
Sergeant, please.
You don't have a license.
Okay, I'll never drive again.
Yes, you will. Because you believe you don't have to have a license.
I'll go get a driver's license tomorrow.
Well, wait a minute. Now you're telling me that you'll go get a license.
Because you're telling me that I have no
believe
choice.
You don't. That's correct. You have no choice.
You have no choice.
Sergeant Turner,
so
please
this is the This is the road that's being taken.
Now here we go. This is the part where she thinks that she's gonna be able to, talk to him nicely, and he's gonna, okay, don't worry, let's take these cuffs off. We'll get one of these officers to drive you and your car home. Nah, that ain't happening, shorty. You going to jail tonight.
And this is what's going to happen.
If this madness wasn't enough already, when the police ran a background...
You had a better chance with the officer that was there from the beginning, because bringing the sergeant over there just did you in.
...check on her, it is revealed that she has a warrant for not appearing in court.
You failed to appear on a court appearance.
Now we know why you ain't got a license.
Was it, expired license? So your Mississippi driver's license is expired. Okay, and the registration. You had a court date that you missed.
You going to extra jail.
Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
You don't, or you choose not to?
Double jail for you.
No, sir, I would not lie to you. I don't lie. I do not do that.
Okay, well, you do have a warrant out of Santa Rosa County. So
Where
regardless.
is Santa Rosa County?
Did you know that now you can use AI in
mom's
Adobe
house.
Express to make literally any image or text for your design? You can make something out of this world like...
You're in Santa Rosa County. You have a warrant out of Santa Rosa County. So
Where
regardless.
is Santa Rosa County?
You're in Santa Rosa County.
She don't even know where
she's
she's
at. Do you not know where you live?
I just moved here.
Drugs.
My mother lives on High Point.
When did you move here?
About 2 months ago, from Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Okay.
There you go.
You don't know what county you live in now after 2 months.
No, I don't. That's not something I use often.
Neither is licenses. Yo, where do you find these people, man? This is what you defend. You guys defend these jokers. Look at this goofball. She ain't blinked in 36 days. Look at it.
What county I live in.
Oh, there we go. That one.
Having her story shown multiple gaps, her situation gets even worse when the officer checking her car finds ammunition but not a gun.
Where's the gun in the car?
What
The gun?
What ammunition?
There's no gun in that car.
There seems to be ammo.
Now, we just put out a couple videos this week of cops planting things in people's car. We didn't see the search. Did they plant ammo in her car?
The gun's in a pawn shop.
When did you pawn it?
Today for dope.
2 months ago.
So why are you still just carrying around ammo?
I didn't know that ammo was in there. What's wrong with carrying around ammo? What can I do without a gun?
Nothing. All right, is wrong with it. But if there's ammo, normally there's a gun. And since the vehicle's being towed, we want to keep the gun in safety.
And she answered the ammo question too quick because he asked about a gun.
When did you pawn it?
She's like, she already.
So why are you still just carrying around
She didn't even
ammo?
think about the ammo.
Was in there.
She should have thought, like, what ammo?
What's
I
wrong
thought I
with carrying
pawned
around
that
ammo?
too.
What can I
Nothing.
do without a gun?
Nothing.
And then she
All
copped
right,
to it.
is wrong with it. But if there's ammo, normally there's a gun. And since the vehicle's being towed, we want to keep the gun in safe
Illusion.
And in a not-so-shocking finding, at this point, the officers find a plastic bag of white powder, which, to the surprise of no one, turned out to be cocaine.
Excuse me. Give me your full name. Give me your full name.
Cocaine.
Look at me. Give me your full name. Give me your full name.
She looked like she swallowed a bag too.
For possession of felony narcotics.
The woman is finally arrested for possession of cocaine.
Yo,
adding
that went from bad to worse. All she had to do was show her license and go on her way if she didn't have the warrant. But she went from, I'm an auditor. I saw this on TikTok. Call your sergeant, and them eyeballs, boy.
to her charges of DUI for the influence of alcohol or drugs and operating a motor vehicle without a valid license. Her face says it all, but not all of them are delusional people who have taken drugs.
That's a stupidity charge right there. I don't need a license. Doesn't matter where I'm at. I'm in the U.S. I'm in the good old U.S. of A. Who needs a license? Not me. I'm above a license. Gun? What gun? I pawned it. What warrant? White powder? What? Look at my eyes. Do I look high?
One of them is a reputable person, for he, in fact, is the father of an...
This looks like, was it Luke Casey? No, not Luke Casey. He looks like the dude from The Godfather 3. The dude that got stabbed in the neck with the glasses, with the eyeglasses. This is the father of an FBI agent. Arrogant as shit. Here we go.
An FBI agent who is a reputable person, for he, in fact, is the father of an FBI agent who thought himself above the law because of this exact reason. On 24 August 2022, officers responded to a hit-and-run case. A distressed woman had dialed 911 after a man had hit her car and fled the scene.
This is how car was. It was smashed into me. Okay. And when I come out and I was like, "Sir, you hit me?" And he's like, "No, I didn't," while his car is in this position. Okay. We were turning left and to go on to we go towards that way. Okay. And then we just came here. He followed me, but then he left. He talked on the phone. He kind of wandered around the parking lot, and then he got in his car and drove off. He tried to stop me, taking a picture of his car, the number to give it to dispatch. And then he did not want to provide me any information. He was like, "I know who you are."
Thanks to the description the victim provided to the officers, the police were able
he thinks he's a mobster
to track down the man, but their encounter with him would soon prove to be chaotic.
Any problem?
He's already an idiot. He already swung the door open, so is he on all the pharmaceuticals? I would not doubt he's on all the pharmaceuticals.
Thanks to the description the victim provided to the officers, the police were able to track down the man, but their encounter with him would soon prove to be chaotic.
Any problem?
Yeah. Here, you want to step out for me?
No.
No, you don't want to?
What?
So you got into an accident over on Greenwood.
I know.
You know?
I say I am gonna pay for anything.
Money. With a dude like that, money talks. What kind of car was that? Didn't seem very impressive. But he seems to think money talks. Arrogance.
According to Illinois law, you have to.
What else?
Illinois law,
where
you
you
have
at,
to
Niles?
information and everything.
What else?
We're trying to explain that to you. Why don't you just let him talk?
You have to give your information to the other driver before you drive off.
I was sometimes somewhere for whining.
Once finally confronted, he is not even able to open the door of his car as it's not parked correctly, which is one of the first indications that he might not be in his right state of mind. He then refuses to step out and talk to the officers. He declares he will pay for the accident, but does
Now, is it an officer's job to look at him and try to assess? He's not a doctor or nothing, you know what I'm saying? He's a cop. But could this guy be having a stroke? Could this guy be actively having some kind of heart attack, some kind of stroke? Or is he lit and he left the titty bar and he hit somebody's car and now he's gonna, he's gonna high sign with his FBI son?
not have the details of the woman to do so.
D or anything on you?
No.
No? Do you have insurance?
I don't have. I am from Poland.
Do you have a driver's license?
We don't need driver's license.
You don't have a driver's license.
How much have you had to drink tonight?
Excuse me?
Drink. Alcohol?
What do you think about this?
Because I can smell it.
No. How about you?
Okay.
Oh,
you drinking something?
So now we have an issue.
You
don't have a license. Do you have insurance on the car?
No.
No?
Having finally been confronted and asked how much he has had to drink, he blatantly denies having drunk, despite his odor saying the opposite. And to make matters worse, he doesn't have either a driver's license or insurance on his car and starts making jokes and threats against the officers.
So what's your first name?
What the heck?
See, he thinks he's in Poland where you can just say anything or throw a couple bucks or whatever. These Niles police officers want your soul, old man. And you gonna give it up. with your FBI son and your high horse
Get your first name?
and your alcohol
Excuse
problem.
me?
What's your first name?
Joe Biden.
Crazy Joe, look at him. He said he's Joe Biden. Look at his face. Look at the cop's face. Couple of assholes.
So you either have to identify yourself, or we're gonna take you.
We're not playing games here. I mean,
You're gonna arrest me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. You're not gonna identify yourself?
Be careful. Be careful. Because sometimes I am.
What if I told
He
you
about to
for
throw
just
the threat.
$1 down, you could take home a camera, computer?
My son working.
Or we're gonna take you.
we're not playing games here. I mean,
You're gonna arrest me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead. You're not gonna identify yourself?
Be careful. Be careful. Because sometimes I am. My son working from FBI.
Oh, okay, cool. So how about this? How about you give us your name and then you can go inside.
No.
You don't want to give us your name?
Don't try. Don't try.
Don't try?
you're playing games with us here. We're trying to get this taken care of so we can get you out of here.
Why are you doing like this?
Because you got into an accident.
Oh, yeah. Nothing happened.
Being fed up with his games, officers then arrest him for failure to identify himself, which
FBI
soon
son.
turns messy.
We're going to give you one more.
Now, how are we willing to bet that his son has nothing to do with the FBI? Because he says sometimes my son is the FBI. He was going to say he was the FBI guy. And he probably does. He probably does work for the FBI in some kind of CI capacity, you know what I'm saying? Or the CIA, whatever. Either one. But he's dumb as a bag of bricks, boy.
More chance. Tell this officer your name so we can complete the crash report.
I never go on.
Or we're going to have to take you under arrest, okay?
We would rather just get your name and let you go inside your house.
I like this.
So.
But don't try. Arrest me.
Okay. All right, do me a favor.
Okay.
Turn around.
No.
Turn around.
No.
We're down here.
No. Pretty strong,
Put
too.
your hands behind your back.
Well, you're getting a resisting charge, too, old man. DUI, leaving the scene. All kind of shit.
Stop resisting.
You like?
Yeah, you like. Look, now he's assaulting the female officer. Look, he's trying to run. What's wrong with you two? This old man, this old CIA. It's
Once
John Wick. It's John Vic. John Vic try to flip them over.
He's taken to the police station where he becomes even more difficult to deal with, refusing to step out of the car even when asked politely.
Alright, are you gonna behave? Do you need help getting out of the car?
No.
You don't? Alright, come on out.
You wanna kill me?
No, I don't.
Wanna shoot me? You wanna shoot me?
No, come
You
on.
wanna shoot me?
You need help getting out of the
they
car?
don't shoot you.
Excuse me. What I gonna do?
I want you to step out of the
some
vehicle.
kind of trick. But be careful.
Be careful.
Okay, come on. Let's go.
They don't care
Come
about
on.
your
Put your
threats.
foot down.
Are you speak Polish?
No, come on.
Speaks Polish. Step out of the vehicle. Michelle.
At this point, he keeps making warnings to the officers.
Gotta be
Then,
careful.
after being taken in, he falls out of the...
What if the CIA come and collect him? What if I'm sitting here talking shit and they come knock on the door and they'll be like, nah, that's one of ours. Run them.
the elevator, as if on purpose, to make it seem like the police had been mistreating him.
Kazimierz.
Kazimierz?
Kazimierz.
Kazimierz.
Some people like doing that.
Kazimierz?
Some people like faking
The
it.
police had been in. He falls out of the elevator, as if on purpose, to make it seem like the police had been mistreating him.
Kazimierz.
Kazimierz?
Kazimierz.
Kazimierz.
Kulaski prawdopodobnie.
Okay. Come on. Here.
He's cursing him in Polish. Why are you throwing me like this? My son from FBI. You gotta talk to my son from FBI.
I'm gonna talk to my son from FBI.
Okay. Come on.
Police. What the
He's definitely has to sober up by now.
He then even threatens to come back in later with an AK, a machine gun. This threat is not
I wonder if he's gonna get all these charges
taken lightly by the police, as the man came from a family of law officials, which meant he had access to guns.
I don't want to come back here with AK.
What's an AK to you?
Automatic Kalashnikov.
Are you threatening to shoot up the police
No,
station?
I don't have free. How I...
Making threats to shoot up a police station is not a joke to anyone here. Do you understand that?
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
That's not funny.
I'm sorry.
Finally, the police later released him on a D-bond, but not without charging him with DUI, obstructing identification, resisting arrest, leaving the scene of an accident, and assaulting a police officer.
Yeah.
But if you thought crazy people who think themselves above the law are just that, that's because you don't know this woman. A woman who...
And he didn't, but they didn't put terroristic threats on a state building or whatever, city building.
Who think themselves above the law are just that. That's
that dude right there. I'm telling you, that dude's an informant for somebody. That dude out there, he's one of those dudes that they they come and get him. All of that shit, he was able to walk out in the morning, got out the drunk tank after telling him he was gonna come back with an AK. So now I believe, they say he comes from a law enforcement family. Now I believe his son is FBI. He's above the law. He ain't worried about that lady's car. But he did do that. The DUI. He didn't identify after that crime. He resisted arrest. He left the scene of that accident, and he tried to rub himself all up on the female officer, and flip them both over. That's John Vick right there. Look at him. He didn't even wrinkle his shirt.
But if you thought crazy people who think themselves above the law are just that, that's because you don't know this woman. A woman who thinks she's entitled to steal. On 18th August 2022, Officer Latham, who was working extra duty at Walmart, watched a woman through CCTV. As she attempted to steal, the woman tore off the price tag of a purse and filled it with several other items and walked out without paying for any of them. Before she could leave, the officer confronted her for stealing.
Bring your card. Come back inside the store, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's a slick move. Walk up. Don't do this. Don't try this at home, kids. Walk up, snatch off the purse, walk around with the purse. Cheers. Fill it up. Nothing. But not for the keen eyes of this guy.
Bring your card inside the store, please.
I'm coming inside the store.
Now.
I am coming out. Because I don't know what you're looking for. What are you looking for?
Let me go back to this door right here.
This?
Ma'am, push the car inside the store.
I'll put my card inside the store before I snap. Oh, wow.
All right, go ahead and pull your card up over here for me.
Okay, so what is y'all talking about? What is it? Because it's two transactions.
Do you have an ID on you?
No.
Is he on duty? Or is he
Okay, so let's stop right now,
Walmart
okay?
security right now.
I'm stopping you for shoplifting. If you want to leave out of here, you're going to change your attitude. Stop. If you want to leave out of here, you're going to change your attitude.
Okay.
If not, I'll just take you to the county because I really don't care.
I don't go to jail.
I don't go to jail.
I don't go to jail is new. It's not every day that you find someone capable of saying something like that. Unfortunately for this woman, there's always a first.
Why does Amazon
She gives everybody up in the car before they even get to jail.
Profit challenge above all.
First time for everything, but she would definitely not go down without a fight.
What I'm telling you is I don't go to jail. I don't have a record. But what I'm
Right, but what I'm telling you is today you can make your way to the county. Number one is this purse and also the clothes in this cart that you bagged up at the register. So let's change the tone.
Let's change the tone.
Let me tell y'all something. I scanned my motherfucking pennies. And there's an employee here that motherfucking seen it. If you said I shoplifted my fucking pennies, they're $3. I done set up there and fucking spent all of it.
Inflation.
That's why exactly I don't come here.
Oh, so wait a minute. She's doing herself a disservice. She's saying she paid for them, but she's taking them out and putting them on the table. Like, here, have them anyway. Nah, you not a good look.
Do not come to this Walmart because
telling
y'all
on
be
yourself.
on bullshit. If that's the case, you could have easily said.
Okay, first of all, stop. Stop all that. Back
Back
away from the cart, ma'am. Back away from the cart.
I'm backing away, giving you.
Where is your receipt at?
My receipt is right here.
Okay, give me your receipt.
Because I have 2 transactions.
Okay, excellent. There's that, Miss Daisy.
Okay.
This purse does not belong to you. This purse belongs to the store. I watched you take this off the shelf and tear the tags off. These do not belong to you. This does not belong to you. I watched you put this inside the purse. Please don't grab any of the stolen merchandise. Please don't grab anything out of the purse, okay?
Okay, go ahead. You got that? Thank you. I can go into my wallet.
No,
that's
you
a
cannot.
Walmart wallet.
Not right now. Because I've stopped you for a lawful reason. No, you cannot go into your wallet. I don't know what's inside your wallet. Please step over here, okay?
He's cool, calm, and collected. He's cool, calm, and collected. She's popped. But he's cool, calm, and collected. Not a big deal. Go home, shorty. You don't go to jail, remember?
Miss Daisy, I'm gonna walk her down to the office and then we'll come.
Can you just tell her to put,
walk this way for me,
put my
please.
money back on my card?
Hold this for
Can you
walk this way for me,
Can you put
please.
my money back on my
Walk
card?
this way. You'll get this in a second. Walk this way.
I would tell
All
y'all.
this is stand here. Let's walk this way.
I don't want it.
Ma'am, leave everything in the car and walk this way.
$300 for
That's
all
fine.
my stuff.
Walk this way.
Please don't be aggressive.
Walk this way.
Please don't be aggressive.
Pay attention to what I'm telling you.
Her entire attitude with the officer after he had confronted her says it all. She was mad about being caught for stealing, and she was making everything seem as if she was being unlawfully detained. But her entitlement and naivety didn't stop there.
That's fine. So they're gonna go through the cart.
You want me to pay for the pennies, swipe my card.
I said put it
go
by my
ahead
hand.
and go ahead and just refund me my money back, and I'll go somewhere else. It's simple.
No,
It's
you going to
common
jail.
sense.
That's why usually people come in and they pay for the stuff and they get to
I pay
leave.
for my stuff, sir. Don't come at me like this because I'm not no fucking thief.
Show her the
I would have a record
CCTV.
Okay, but you got caught stealing today, right?
I got caught stealing today. Okay, if that justifies your situation, cool.
No, it justifies your situation,
Let me
ma'am.
go. Just
No,
let me go.
it doesn't work that way.
Dizzy,
What doesn't work that way?
You don't just get to leave
Why do I not get to leave?
because you're being stopped.
I'm being.
I don't understand why this is so hard for you to understand.
Where's my wallet?
I have your wallet.
Okay, can I have my wallet?
No, you cannot.
Okay,
No
can
wallet
keep
for
it.
you.
I'll get something.
Where you going?
What I want to do,
Excuse me.
don't
Oh, girl,
bump me
block
now
this.
because I
told
didn't do
you
nothing. I didn't do nothing.
to
Oh,
stop.
girl, blocked
and
her.
have
She
it.
rat interference while she's on the phone. She been over there having a whole conversation while Buddy's talking to this lady, but she just put the interference. Good job.
Okay, I am
Stop,
gonna have
or-
it. Why
stop,
are
or
you
I'm gonna
being
take you to the
aggressive?
ground.
Because you're
Stop,
hurting
or
my
I'm
arm.
gonna take you to the ground.
They don't
Sir,
pay
first
you
of all,
to
sir,
be fighting
I'm a
shoplifters,
licensed
lady.
medical
Stop, or I'm gonna
assistant,
take you
and
to the
you're breaking
ground.
my pinky that's
I'm
already
telling you
broken.
right now, if you do not stop tensing up, I'm gonna take you to the ground.
I'll go sit down.
No. Now you're gonna get put in cuffs.
For what?
Stop tensing up, I'm gonna take you to the ground. Turn around. Turn around.
This is some bullshit.
You getting deeper and deeper and deeper, like shorty at the
I will
beginning.
comply and go sit my ass back
Turn
down.
around now.
Does he take
and
her
bump
down?
me again like that.
Now she
And
mad
I'm
at
trying
him.
to get.
I told you.
After a few minutes of struggle, she's finally put in handcuffs by the
Nails
officer
flying
as she
everywhere.
tries to leave, despite the officer warning her against it.
Oh, girl,
Give me
pulled
my
the
refund.
interference.
I have now.
Oh, no, once you in cuffs, there's no more refunds. There's no out of there, there's no refunds, there's no none of that. You tweaking.
Cause I gotta go to work tomorrow. Give me my refund now.
Oh, you just lost your job.
Cause the way you slapped me on my motherfucking face.
Have a seat.
Why you slap me on my face? My
Have a
face
seat.
hurt.
Have a
My
seat.
face is killing me.
Have a seat now.
Don't bump my head.
Have a seat.
Don't bump my head.
Have a seat. Are you
Don't
going back on
bump
the
my
ground?
head. Don't never bump my
Have a
head.
seat.
You Russia, bro, to the wrong people.
Stay seated
I am seated.
and do not get up.
Alright.
Alright.
Uncuff me then.
At such a heated point of the arrest, she still believes she's in her right and keeps asking the Walmart worker to give her her refund and demands the officer to uncuff her. Then she even dares threaten the officers, saying her dad is actually a lawyer.
It's time to upgrade your tire.
Her dad's a lawyer.
It's not an
His daughter's
option,
a
but a
thief.
necessity. Here's why.
That's not even no petty stuff. I never been arrested for any fucking thing. Man, get this shit up off me. He got this cuff in my hand, and I swear for God, I will
Nigga,
call my
officer
daddy and I said
observing.
lawyer, and you will regret it.
Take a seat, man.
Sit down.
Y'all let me have an anxiety attack.
250, 15th Division, northbound.
Take your card, give me my money back.
Nope.
I'll go somewhere else. Take my card, give me
You're
my
not
money
going
back.
nowhere.
Straight
No
up.
more shopping for today.
Because what you're not finna do is manhandle me and act like I'm not gonna do shit about it. Because if you was my man, I'd slap you dead in your shit.
Yeah, I bet you would.
Putting your hand on a female.
I bet
Got
you
me
would.
fucked up. I ain't never been in motherfucking trouble. I'm not no troublemaker.
Not long after saying she's no troublemaker, she yet again makes another controversial statement claiming she's a classy and intelligent woman.
Okay, you want me to pay for the purse? I'll pay for it. Get me the fuck up out of here. You don't do no ladies like that. I'm not one of them ghetto ass hoes.
You're not?
I'm very motherfucking classy
Super classy.
and intelligent. Don't play with me.
At this
Smart
point,
as hell.
nothing she
Still think you getting a refund and going shopping somewhere else.
does or says could make the situation any worse than it already is.
She
But
should've shut
somehow
up an
she
hour
managed
ago.
to do so. When she was informed that she was being arrested for shoplifting and resisting, she demanded that the officers delete the footage.
Yeah. Do you want the guy and the ladies you're with to take your stuff?
What do you mean?
Take your wallet.
They're gonna take your wallet. Do you want your family to take your wallet?
For what?
Because you've been arrested, man.
Because you're being arrested.
Being arrested for what?
You're going to jail.
Yeah.
Why am I going to jail?
It's an easy question. Do you want your family to take your personal property?
Oh, she got herself a cop that's a little more aggressive than, and dude was good. Dude was good. Slick talk. She wasn't getting nothing by him. This dude ain't taking no shit.
Or would you rather put it in the bag and have it taken to county? So what do you want us to do?
I'm telling you, what am I going to jail for?
And you've been arrested for shoplifting and resisting.
How? I didn't even resist you. You're lying. You need to delete that. I did not resist arrest. I would never resist arrest. I did not resist arrest. What are you
Talk to the
talking
judge
about?
about
You
it.
need to delete.
I need to understand though. Do they have a cop posted up in the Walmart, on duty cop, or is he an off duty cop in a security capacity there, in a anti theft capacity?
No, I saw it. He actually had a clear bag. You're good, right?
You need to delete that.
She is blacklisted from Walmart and would be faced with trespassing charges if ever seen on the property again. But the woman instead says she would change her look rather than agree to not come back.
Alright, I'm advising you that from
my hair.
this day for up to a year, you are trespassed from Walmart here.
I don't want to be here.
It's fine. You're just being advised that you trespassed.
Trespassing for a year. I'm not signing shit.
Not asking you to.
And not being here again.
Okay, and you'll be arrested.
They don't know me.
Okay, I'll be here. I will arrest you.
You can't be here and you don't know me.
I will
I
arrest you.
changed my hairstyle. You wouldn't even know who I am.
Okay.
The officers then try to take her to the station to get her booked and checked by a nurse for her broken wrist, but she, unsurprisingly, resists getting into the car.
Call my brother now, please. Call my brother now. Call my brother now, please, because you didn't
Watch
even
your
call.
head. Watch
You
your
did
head.
not even call EMT. You did not even call EMT. I don't want to get in here. I don't want to get in here. For fucking what?
Stop.
What?
Listen.
For what? For what? For what?
For
no,
tweaking.
Don't put no seatbelt on
tweak,
me.
you got
don't
caught.
Put nothing on me, and y'all hurting my fucking hand. Stop grabbing on me.
Stop.
Get your hand off my fucking neck. You better keep your motherfucking hand off my fucking neck. Stupid ass shit.
Hey.
You're not gonna fucking
Listen.
Why are you doing this?
Listen.
Somebody. No, because y'all not respecting what the fuck I said.
Hey, listen to me.
No.
If
no,
you don't stop,
no,
we are going to hobble your feet.
No.
You understand that?
No. Tell them
They're
I
gonna
want
hobble
EMT
you.
right
So
now.
listen.
They're gonna hobble you. It might be a permanent hobble. You never know with these guys. They're gonna hobble your feet. You better relax.
'Cause you keep
You are
hurting
going
me.
to see the nurse
Hurt
at
me.
the
I don't
jail.
want to see no nurse.
Okay?
I don't want to see no nurse.
The
at
nurse
jail.
has
You
more
cannot
training.
make me.
The nurse has
You
more
cannot
training
make me.
than a paramedic.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
I'm a licensed
It is a
medical
registered
assistant.
nurse. Then you should know that a registered nurse has more training.
It hurt. You got my whole back. You could have put the handcuffs in the front. What am I gonna do?
That
in
shit's
the
it.
front?
That shit sailed.
Ma'am,
And
listen
then
to
you
me.
got my knees hurting
If
and
you
stuff.
don't stop, we are going to hobble your feet. That means that we are going to
gonna
take
hobble
this
you.
cord
Got to
and
just
lock
go
your
with the
feet
flow
together.
now.
Go with
Okay?
what flow?
The jail is 10
Go with
minutes
what
away.
flow?
You can sit back here for
Because
10
y'all
minutes and
did
go to the
this.
jail.
Because y'all did this. And then you saying, oh, I resisting arrest.
Miss Herndon.
Why would you say that?
Miss Herndon.
Why would you say that?
Because you trying to pull a move, and if Big Mama on the phone didn't stop you, you would have got out of there.
I'm not getting you
I
out of
have
jail.
2 jobs tomorrow.
Listen.
Why would you not do that? Why would you not do that? Please
All right.
don't push on me. You already put.
Are you gonna open that door so we can pull it around the front?
Don't touch me. I don't need y'all to don't do anything. I'm fine.
Are you?
Fine.
So are you?
You don't
are
go
you
to
going
jail.
to relax back here?
Just leave me alone. Leave me alone.
It's the safest.
Because I'm not going in there.
You want to? I mean, she's saying she's gonna relax.
I'm not going in there. Get these cuts from behind my back into the fucking front. Because when you sling this car, you're slinging my wrist, and if my wrist get broken, so.
The woman was finally charged with resisting an officer without violence and theft for a purse of $326. She only spent 48 hours in county jail, but things get even worse as the next person believes she should not be punished just because.
So old girls just tweaked and went on a rant and spent a couple days in jail. Shut up, don't go back to Walmart. Stop stealing shit. You're not good enough. You can't get away with it. You got caught. It's enough. Enough is enough.
Because she's a woman. This woman was pulled over for being on her phone, but that's not what is odd. She was parked in the middle of the road, checking her emails. She's immediately confronted by an officer for doing so.
You're doing everything but drive this car. You've gone through emails, you've looked at pictures.
Okay.
Everything but drive the car. Okay? It's illegal.
Okay.
Is there a reason you might be doing this?
Pharmaceuticals.
I'm at a... Are you pulling me over because I'm blocking traffic?
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and pull you over then. I'll have you pull into
I didn't mean that.
I'll have you pull over into the BP lot.
As the officer writes her a ticket, she says that laws state she could only get a ticket for other reasons, but not for being parked in the middle of the road.
What's wrong with these people?
Okay, so then
now somebody will come and say, "Oh, but you could tell there's a mental health situation, right?" Well, is it? It can be. There's a possibility it's a mental health situation, but could it also be pharmaceutical drugs? You know what I'm saying? That these people are on. You know what I mean? And that's why they're acting like this. But everybody, all these women seem to think that they don't have to have a driver's license or any.
Your driver's license?
I don't have to give you a driver.
Around the front?
Don't touch me. I don't need y'all to don't.
Relax.
She's immediately charged with resisting an off as the next person pulled over, confronted by an officer for doing so.
You're doing everything but drive this car. You've gone through emails, you've looked at pictures.
That's the question.
Everything but drive the car.
Question, right?
Okay. It's illegal.
She on pharmaceuticals.
Okay. Is there a reason you might be doing this, or?
I'm at a...
Entitlement and pharmaceuticals? That sounds
yeah,
right.
Sure. I'll go ahead and pull you over then. I'll have you pull into
I didn't mean that.
I'll have you pull over into the BP lot.
As the officer writes her a ticket, she says that laws state she could only get a ticket for other reasons, but not for being parked in the middle of the road.
Nothing, ma'am.
Okay, so then am I getting a citation?
Yes, ma'am.
Under Ohio state law, you can only pull me over for texting if there's another offense and give me a ticket.
Well, I've done this 20 years.
I just looked up. Except for the city of Dublin.
You need to look up the city of Columbus, ma'am. This is the code I'm going to actually...
So she told him you can only arrest me for texting if it's a secondary offense, meaning he'd have to pull her over for something else and then realize she was texting. She thinks she got a bunch of tricks up her sleeve. She sounds like Adderall Annie at the beginning that was talking about she didn't need a driver's license.
Actually gave you is 20.
Or John Vick, who thought he didn't need a driver's license. Or old girl that thought she didn't go to jail. See what this one says. She could park in the middle of the street. You can't cite her. She could text, she could email. You can't cite her. Back up.
31.44b. Okay. I'm actually going to give you a copy of the law today.
Great.
It is primary offense.
Having been updated with her situation and the fact that she's going to get a ticket, her demeanor starts to shift. She even dares to tell the officer he should be glad that she didn't have her pepper spray with her.
Just so you know, also walking up to a woman's car, you should have pulled me over. You're lucky I didn't have my pepper spray on me.
The level of entitlement and toughness and all this equality It's not equal. She wants to stand on his neck and pepper spray him through the nostrils. That's what she wants. Because he told her she can't park in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying? And she's probably in the comments talking about that drug dealer that swallowed that bag of dope that killed him. Good, right? But but the same woman wants sympathy for her. No.
If you weren't going through emails,
Sir,
you would probably be more observant.
I'm not trying to be an I'm telling you, as a woman.
As a woman?
I'm actually shaking right now because you scared the ever living out of me.
Well, I've made over 7,000 traffic stops, and I've never been pepper sprayed.
But I understand that, sir. But I'm telling you, as a woman.
As a woman? And ladies, stop starting with that. Stop starting with that, because that shit sounds stupid already. As a woman,
made me feel unsafe.
Saying the officer is making her feel unsafe is clearly a bad joke and just a petty way to avoid her ticket. She then tries to get out of it by coming up with any excuse she can, even saying she is paying the cop's salary.
I'm a public safety official,
I understand that, but please listen to what I am saying, because you're not listening, because
you're
seeing through the eyes of me trying to get out of a ticket, which I'm not.
That's the oppressor right there.
Yeah.
Sir,
I can assure you of that.
Sir, can I please finish my sentence?
Go ahead.
As a public employee, I am letting you know, as somebody who pays, who is a person who pays, please.
No, I'm no longer going to listen to you. I'm no longer going to listen to you. I'm going to give you your driver's license back. What you are being cited with is texting while driving. I gave you a copy of the law. You're going to have 3 options. Your first option, it's going to be right here, ma'am.
After realizing what she was trying to do, the cob is done with her behavior and gives her the ticket. It wasn't long before her calm and kind attitude changed and started to ask for the officer's badge number, trying to threaten him.
Take Connor, badge 1300. It's at the bottom of your
She had a
citation.
condescending, obnoxious demeanor.
No, ma'am. All I have to do is provide it to you. It's on the bottom of your citation. So you're going to have 3 separate options. I won't give you your options then. I need your signature. Your signature is not an admission of guilt, but I do need your signature because it's an arrestable offense if you do not.
I can't believe that you won't even
all
listen.
of that, I know the law shit, but she's signing real quick under threat of, as a woman, threat of arrest is appalling. Well, why? You acting arrestable right now.
No, as soon as you said, I pay your salary, then we're done.
But, sir, I'm trying to tell you so that you can do your job better.
I've done my job 20 years, and I'm protecting the public from you reading your emails while you drive your car.
Middle of the road.
Well, that
drive safely now.
Finally, the woman was just given a ticket and was lucky that was her only punishment. If you like this video, watch this.
Woo! He didn't give her enough time. A couple more minutes, she would have talked herself into some shit. Because she refused to not be heard. She's a dictatorship. She pays taxes. All right. I got one more before we go. I've been watching for this one, and it popped up, and I'm going for it. Simply titled, The Husband Beheader. Don't ask, because I don't know.
One scoop of AG1 replaces multiple supplements with 75 high-quality ingredients, scientifically formulated to...
Don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. Please, I don't want to bite you.
That's Joanna and J check right there? Quite possibly.
Don't hurt me.
Don't hurt
On March
me.
1st, 2023, officers responded to a case of domestic battery.
All right.
Upon arriving at the scene, they observed a couple engaged in an argument.
Happens.
They immediately separated the two and commenced their investigation.
Mindy, stop. Stay back there. Stop.
Why are you yelling
Stop.
at me?
Oh, see, they separated the two, right? To get everybody's independent story. Dude seems to be standing over there quietly. And this little 2-foot nothing right here looks like she wants to take on all of the police because she's tough.
Go back there like I just said.
Why are you yelling at me?
Go back there now.
I'll step back, but I ain't going in. I'm gonna listen.
Come back here, Lynn. What's the problem today?
That wouldn't take me to the damn store before he went to work. I've been asking this forever to take me to the store. That's it.
Look at that, boy. It's a specimen
The
there,
damn
see?
store before he went to work.
When you catch these in the wild, look at that. Look at that.
been asking this bitch forever to take me.
I wonder if she knows that's how she is. I wonder if she even sees herself. Look at that.
To the store, that's it.
She wants me to take her to Walgreens to get a glucose monitor. I said, you have to have a prescription for that. Turn this way so she can't hear me. I'm sorry. They're getting,
wait, hold on. You holding prescriptions from her? That's what she said.
She wants me to take her to Walgreens to get a glucose monitor. I said, you have to have a prescription for that. Turn this way so she can't hear me. I'm sorry. They're getting, it's upside down, but...
The man showed the officers a video in which the woman was acting aggressively and attempting to damage his property.
I'm coming for you.
Look at it. Look at it. Woo-wee. She's coming for him.
I want all of you for up my life with our children.
Look at that.
I'm gonna have your head.
Oh, the
on a
beheader.
platter in my mind. That's the vengeance God I want for that standing in my house.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, quite possibly a mental disorder that needs to be checked, medicated, and put in its place. Or is she on pharmaceuticals all day long? You know, she got a little alky look to her, but is she on pharmaceuticals all day long? Or is she just that obnoxious and arrogant?
That I took care of on my deathbed. Make sure y'all put some pairs of pants on.
Oh, look.
With you. Then you can just take the one off.
I think it's all of the above.
You can have this shit.
Most of the time it
This is
is.
the shit he wants. He'd rather the objects.
Most of the time it is. Look at that.
Stop! Wait, stop! Oh, wait, stop. What? Ah! Get away from me. Your face
Don't
up.
touch the car.
Look at
Good thing you backed away from me.
I didn't back away from you.
Yes, you did. You want me to your face up?
And she'll say that none of this shit happened.
Step to me again.
Leave the car alone. Leave Tori's car alone. Leave the house alone. Quit destroying everything.
She then aggressively shoves the man's phone out of his hand.
She climbed up on top of the car again.
Is she a borderline personality? Or is she pharmaceutically stumbling over herself all day long? Or is she an alcoholic?
The car. So that's the hood. She just did all this just now. The hood. Kicked the side of it. Up on the roof. Dents all over the back of it.
So what happened exactly? You asked him to take you to a store.
That glass is a weapon.
And we said he would. He said what I want from there. Then he told me I couldn't get the shit from there. Told him I didn't need him to tell me. The store can tell my. Sorry.
So here's the story. She wants to go get a glucose monitor. She needs a I keep forgetting the same damn word and he just said it. She needs to have a I'm going back. I'm blanking on the word. I've been here for 2 hours. It's when they moved him back. Glucose monitor.
Glucose monitor. I said you have to have a prescription for that.
She gotta have a prescription for it, right? So he's making sense, right? You gotta have a prescription for it. He's making common sense, a common sense situation. She's been telling him for days to take her to the store, right? For this glucose monitor, but I'm sure for the couple of days he keeps telling her, you need a prescription for that. And he's telling her you need a prescription. So he's not wasting his time taking her to the store for this glucose monitor because she needs a prescription for that. And this is her response. Let them fucking tell me that.
Nature.
Did you guys get into...
has issues. I need V8 help.
Very.
Hold on. She's lying.
Want from there.
There you go.
Dents all over the back of it.
So what happened exactly? You asked him to take you to a store. He doesn't want to.
And we said he would. He said what I want from there. Then he told me I couldn't get the shit from there. Told him I didn't.
Then he told me I couldn't get the shit from there. Okay, we're on the right track so far. He got some logic.
Doesn't want to.
And we said he would.
He would if you had a
He said what I
prescription.
want from there. Then he told me I couldn't get the shit from there. Told him I didn't need him to tell me. The store can tell my.
The store could tell me that I can't get it without a prescription, not him.
Did she make any comments about self-harm or anything like that?
No, she said she wanted to kill me.
That's
she
it.
said she wanted. She
Yeah.
wants to or is going to.
What'd she say? I'm going to have your head on a platter.
Because the woman had threatened to kill the man, and it was recorded by him, he had very strong evidence of her aggressive nature.
Did you guys get into...
Man has issues. I need VA help. He won't go
The
down
irony.
to get assessment. He's just constantly is badgering. I need VA.
He had very strong evidence of her aggressive nature.
Did you guys get
Man
into...
has issues. I need VA help. He won't go down to get assessment. He just constantly is badgering me in any other way that he can.
Did you guys get into any
She's
kind
a
of
victim
physical
now.
altercation today?
As long as he don't step to me, it's cool.
Do
I
what?
hit the car. As long as he doesn't step to me, it's fine.
Yo, she's arrogant as shit. As long as he don't step to her. But I hit the car.
Comes at me. Then he comes at me. I don't want that phone in my face recording me. He's been showing my kids different recordings.
Well, you've been showing his camera different behaviors. You fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be seen for what the fuck you are. Look
And
at
I
you.
know that because then when I see them, they're doing the shit I've been doing.
Oh, I
Making
wonder
the
why.
faces I was making. I'm not a complete dumb. Sorry, no one cursing you. Not a complete dumb.
But you was cursing when you told him you was going to behead him and put his fucking head on a platter. But, of course, you got morals now.
Person, okay?
You're not that kind of person. Of course
No
you're
one
not.
cursing you. Not a complete dumb person, okay?
Right.
I got mental issues, but it's because my
Okay.
brain, I just can't put, and then the phone works, and then it doesn't work, and then I can't get no one to call me back.
The man admitted that her actions had made him fear for his life,
Of course.
and the officers were soon going to take action based on his statement.
At night, I'm afraid for my life.
Yeah.
I spend the whole time in the basement. So that's at this point, that's why I'm going to add myself to the protective order.
Okay.
That way I can stay here.
So you were in the car and she was beating the car, you said?
No, I wanted to get in the car. She was on the car.
Can you look up my court date? Can you call for me? Because he doesn't do anything. Can you just tell me my court date?
Just hang tight for a minute.
Thank you.
I'm sure he probably knows what you're
No, don't tell me that shit.
You see? She even want to tell the cop what the fuck is happening. She even want to tell the cop, no, you handle this for me. Look at it.
Don't tell me he knows anything.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, did it get physical today?
I don't remember.
We need less prisons in this country and more mental hospitals.
You don't remember?
Yeah, it kind of did because then he comes at me and I'm going to face up if he comes at me.
The woman started behaving erratically while giving her statement to the officers.
It kind of did. Can you explain?
Because I hit the car and then he came at me and then I tried to get the phone out of my face because I can't have someone badgering me, trying to record me all the damn time. A wife
Stop
can't
being
have a
stupid.
relationship when you just watch the damn...
A man's only recourse in a situation like this is a camera and the police. Can't win this one. If you're at war with one of your peers, go to war with them, take each other out, whatever. But at this point, when it's a domestic situation like this, the only recourse a man has is a camera and the police.
You know why?
I don't need nothing. I'm going to take the locks off the door. I'm afraid of him. I'm afraid of him, and I don't like him. When I got home from the hospital, he put his hands in here on me to get me. Then he walked away and said, I'm calling the cops to get a protection order on you. I said, you just put your hands in here on me. You damn dumb.
In cases of domestic violence, perpetrators are often aggressive even when talking to the police.
Of course they
and
are.
the woman exhibited the same behavior here.
If he comes at me, I'm going to smack you out of the way. We've separated real quick, so it was cool. Like, he
She's
can't
just-
do anything. If I want to hit this car in my driveway, and he won't give me a damn key to...
Did he make any threats to you?
Not that I remember or know of. I'll hit you if you don't get out of my way or get away from me.
She's got this pretty little bow wrapped around her bullshit.
Yeah, he's been living in the basement for 6 months.
Ah, look,
See it,
corroboration.
right?
Corroboration of his fear of this woman. He's been living in the basement for 6 months. Why? Because a woman will lie on you. A woman will lie on you. Man might lie on you too. But this type of shit, he was
Comes
hiding in the
and out.
basement.
He's living in the basement. This is not good. I want a protection order to keep him out of my home, sir.
He's hiding from you.
I want a lawyer. I want to sue him for mental, physical, and emotional abuse. I want to file
Just
a
calm
report.
down, please.
The
She's
officers
calling her
decided
lawyer.
to
She
get
got her lawyer on the line and everything. Wow, ain't it?
one last statement from the victim before putting the woman in cuffs.
So, other than that, you showed me the video of where you're recording inside the garage.
And what were her words again? That she's gonna have my head on a platter or something along those lines.
What did you interpret that as?
Well, I think she wants to try to kill me, honestly.
Okay.
I got an ex that came in and got my kids, and then everything just went whatever, haywire.
Aha. She got an ex that came in to get her kids. So he's supposed to feel safe, and you got exes and you crazy. How about if your ex crazy as you? That's why Buddy locked in that basement.
Which is fine. But he wouldn't let me have any communication. He tells me my kids don't want nothing to do with me. He's ran his mouth to my kids while I'm a surviving woman after surgery. He didn't help bring me up. He didn't even hardly bring me food in the room when I was on my deathbed.
Oh, we've gotten to the sob story stage. We've gotten to the sob story stage. Y'all know it well. This is the part where they tell you about the turmoil of life. As if you were born yesterday. Look at her.
Disgusting. I don't even want him in my house.
By her making that threat, that it's something that she could potentially act I think it's something that she could do in the future.
That boy terrified.
If given the opportunity, I think she would.
Where'd y'all meet? In the bars?
So go ahead and turn around, put your hands on the car for me, okay?
No, why?
Put the hands on the car.
Was you going to jail, animal?
Domestic violence. Turn around.
For what now?
Turn around.
Ah!
Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Ah, look at this fucking idiot.
Put your hands behind your back now.
Don't hurt me, please. Don't hurt me. Please, I don't want to bite you. Don't hurt me.
Understand and remember the irony of please and asshole and motherfucker. Okay? Remember the irony in that. Please, bitch ass punk motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? The pleases are canceled out. Don't the pleases get canceled out by the assholes and the motherfuckers?
Don't hurt me. I knew you were going to take me. Don't hurt me. You're hurting me. You're hurting me. You're hurting me. So, ow!
Relax.
No, I'm not. You liar.
Now you're getting more charges.
No, I'm not. I know.
Resisting arrest.
Lesson learned for little Larry over there.
Sir. I love you.
Oh, it's tear. We've reached the tear stage.
What are you doing?
Self-punishment, eating grass, self-punishment stage.
Are you a low-income American on
stages
food
to this
stamps or
bullshit?
Medicaid? If so, you are.
Stand up. Stand up. Stand up.
I'm not hurting.
Spit the grass out.
Why? I don't want to.
I don't want to. Very logical. She's mental. Either way, she needs to handle that.
You anything on you?
No.
The woman ate some grass and started acting in a very weird manner with the officers.
Illinois wildin', boy.
I don't want to put the grass out.
What'd you say? Man, she got mad grass.
The woman ate some grass and started acting in a very weird manner with the officers.
I don't want to put the grass out.
Spit the grass out.
No, I don't want to put the grass out. I ate my man.
Spit the grass out.
Why?
Because it's disgusting.
You hurt my elbow.
We don't need it in the car.
I don't want to be there with you.
Spit the grass out.
No.
Spit the grass out.
Take it out.
Spit the grass out, man.
I take it out.
That's.
Spit the grass out.
Take it out. I won't bite you.
Thanks. You want to get more
Sounds like a
charges?
good promise.
No, I don't.
Spit the grass out. Let's go.
I ate my husband. Please help me.
Spit the grass out. Come on, let's go. Spit it out.
No, I ate my husband.
A minute ago, just a few minutes ago. Hold on, let's go back. Let me see if I can find the image the real image that one of these. This is one of them. Hold on. You know, let's get the image. There it is. See that? You just seen that turn into a grass-eating idiot. Look at that. Right there is arrogance, dominance, aggression, rage. And then she found herself eating grass.
Help me!
Spit the grass out.
Help me!
Who's gonna help you? There was nobody there to help him.
Help me! Help me!
Do your best to help yourself.
Why did you eat grass?
Because my husband's fucking with me.
What? You spit it out, or do you want to leave it in your mouth?
I don't want to leave it.
Okay.
She's trying to make herself sick.
No, I want you to take it out.
Look at. Now she's a demon.
You gonna spit it out or what?
Now she's
You gonna spit it out?
I want you to take it out for me.
Instead of just behaving, just behave. Just go sit your ass down somewhere, smoke something, you know, chill out. Nah, extra shit. Look at that shit.
No, you don't treat me like an adult.
All right, sit back. Sit back. Get in the car.
I don't know what you want from me.
Sit back.
Little
No, I don't know what you want from me. I don't know what you want from me. I don't know what you want from me. This is my home. I need help.
This is my car.
I need help.
You do need help.
Can you get this out of my...
Yeah, you ate the shit. This is look at this shit. Make the decision to eat the grass and then
No.
need help. Then need help.
I need help.
We've tried to get you that.
Can you get this out of my mouth?
No.
Help me. I need help. Ow.
And I'm sure buddy that was hiding in the basement, I'm sure he told you need help. And you probably told him you didn't, you know? Hopefully you get it. Need a coping mechanism that ain't beating up on that boy over there.
The man told the officers that his mother-in-law wasn't allowing him to see the kids, and that she wanted to take the matter to court, which displeased the officers.
Uh-oh.
And then I haven't seen him since then.
Look at that.
You have full custody.
I've got custody.
Now, the one that taught her to be how she is over here holding his kids from him.
We're staying with her so I could take care of Mindy. I'm no longer able to take care of Mindy because of the way she is. She said she's going to take me to court for the kids, and I'm not allowed to see the kids until we go to court.
Do you mind calling her so I can talk to her?
If she'll answer.
Now the family's involved.
I don't want either of you seeing the kid until court. They're trying to get comfortable, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, we have to figure out school because now I've got their physicals. Now they can start. She said, not going to happen. Take me to court.
One of the officers called his mother-in-law, and during the call, she repeatedly mentioned a court order and her custody of the children.
He's abusive. And not only that, and he hides everything, and then he deletes all the footage that we have video. Yes, my daughter has an opioid addiction.
The plot thickens. We've gotten to the opioid addiction. Maybe there's just a collective of all of it, you know? A little loony bin, a little druggy drug, a little bit of everything, you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's the cocktail. So it wasn't mental illness alone. But again, one leads to the other, to the other, to the other, to the other.
Because of him, he's from a family. His mother and father were both psychiatric nurses, and I have his kids. I have their kids because he would not do anything about this.
His mother and father were both psychiatric nurses, and he didn't see the red flags.
All he could do was allow his father were both psychiatric nurses, and I have his kids. I have their kids because he would not do anything about this. All he could do was allow these children to be tortured by all this domestic violence. And I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old on my hands right now that are mentally stressed over all of this.
All right, we're going to go through these doors when he's pulling on right there. Once we go in to the right.
Thank you.
The husband beheader.
I don't have my pen on me, do I, or nothing?
I'm sorry, you guys. He doesn't want us on his property, and they took Mindy to jail for domestic violence.
Of course, she played right into his hands because she's an addict. He's got her on opioids and had her on.
He's got her on opioids now. Y'all look like y'all on opioids too, man. The hell we talking about?
And we didn't even know about it he didn't even tell us until like a year and a half ago. He hid her addiction so he can control her because she wants a divorce from him.
She don't get none of the responsibility. He. Maybe he did, but what the fuck did she do?
He was not going to let her go.
shit, man. I need this game.
Wait. Is it in my shirt?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll let them check.
No, it's right here. Take it, please.
No,
So
let
that
them
grass
check
you
it.
ate,
I'm
stupid.
not gonna.
Alright, I just don't want to take nothing in here. Okay.
The man's in-laws appeared to be convinced that he had planned and plotted to make his wife lose her mind.
And I'll tell you something else too. I know he's got an insurance policy on her too. He's waiting for her to die. She probably weighs 85 pounds, and I just had her at Claremont County, Greater Cincinnati Behavior Center just the other day, and I think she weighed 85 pounds with her clothes on.
Walk in and good to know right here. Stay facing that window.
It's a shame. Drugs, mental illness, all of it. Get it together.
He's sought a lot of help, and we've
We're all
tried to help
fucked
as
up.
much as we can. We've
You know
brought
what?
resources to her. We've offered to take her to resources.
Figure it
and
out.
she has not been cooperative.
No, she hasn't.
I've been here myself. This is probably the 4th time. So our office has probably been here 20 times.
The in-laws informed the cops that they believed the man had a black box chained in the woods, which he opens late at night.
You don't want to sell his property because he's got a little black box in the woods that he keeps on a leash, and he pulls it out at night all the freaking time because he's drugging her with something. Both his parents are nurses, psychiatric nurses. He's not a stupid man. He's been in the Air Force.
But their own daughter confirmed everything he said. Their own daughter said that he was locked in the basement. Their own daughter, everything that he said, their own daughter had the same conversation about the what's it called? The prescription for the glucose monitor. She co-signed everything he said. And co-signed everything he said while attacking him. So these ladies got their own conspiracy going on. I don't think he needs a black box in the woods for her to get high.
He knows what he's doing. He's manipulating the system so that he can destroy her.
They showed the officer a video allegedly depicting the man hurting his wife.
All right, let's see. Or is he defending himself?
I mean, that's not going to be enough
He stands
for
in
us
front.
to...
He stands in front of the window and he plows her right in the face.
The first initial hit is the main one.
The good thing about this, I understand that you don't want her to be arrested, but
It's not that.
it doesn't
If
mean
it
that she's
takes
going to
her-
necessarily be convicted of domestic violence. But here's the thing. If she does get convicted of a crime, they will take into consideration what he says is the victim. And if you guys go there, they may let you speak as well, and you can express your concerns.
y'all could
potentially.
ruin
I can't guarantee
everything
anything,
with your
'cause you guys
mouths.
weren't directly involved in this. They could potentially, the judge could potentially order her to be evaluated for drug and mental health.
They don't need to be around each other. I completely agree with this. But they don't need to be around each other whatsoever. Then Ed and Mindy at all.
Maybe
And
neither
see,
one of them
something
needs to
that
be
is
around
right
anybody.
So she couldn't call 911.
So he said, if you would like to keep the children
I'm not his babysitter.
for right now,
Joke. Yeah, for right now.
All he's done is use me, so he's taken off and locked her up in the house and run away for 3 days to screw some girl somewhere. I mean, you guys don't see all of this. I mean,
well,
come on.
I don't know everything that happens in their house 24/7, so I don't know.
Later in jail, the woman began acting erratically while the officer was reading the court's order to her.
Go again.
Let me reread that
Yeah, I
part
want to know what my charges are that he's bringing against me, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna read them. You just gotta listen, okay?
Okay, I'm trying.
All right. Mr. Long stated he's afraid that Miss Long will act upon this comment, given their history.
The female was charged with domestic violence and resisting arrest. YouTube thinks you'll love the video on the screen. Click to watch now.
Wow. That was a whole lot of bullshit right there. Well, I hope she figures it out. And they both figure it out. Because that's some bullshit right there. But she copped to everything. The family got a whole conspiracy theory, but she sat there and copped to everything he said. It's funny. All right, y'all. It's been a good one. We've been here 2.5 hours. For those who are on the playback, if you haven't hit the subscribe, please do. Hit the like button. Thank you to everybody that's been coming through. Salutes. And we'll be back ASAP. All right. Till then, don't get involved in no bullshit like the shit we react to on this channel. Stay out of it. I'll holla. Peace.